Okay. Dan who? Dan double you. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole Who crew, look, they made me do it. If it lands in my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram, and hopefully you already are. Welcome to episode 275 of the Dan Who live stream, where we recap the week that was in Marvel Legends news. And it has been a barren 2026 until now. As today, on February the 10th, Hasbro had their first Marvel fan stream for the year, and they revealed a brand new wave, the very first Maximum, and a couple of 2-packs and a few other little bits and bobs. So we're going to dive into it all right now. Our first thoughts, I try not to speak to too many people so I can save it for this. So with me is Jay Toy Collection UK. Jay, how you doing?
Hello, hello. Nobody told me this gig was on a Tuesday. This isn't Thursday. What is occurring, everybody? How are we doing?
It's part of the deal, Jay. So we basically, if we can accommodate the Marvel live stream, it just makes sense to go live on that day rather than waiting a couple of days, because it is Toy Fair weekend as well, you see. So there's going to be plenty more news to talk about. I think Hasbro were even dropping more licenses today. And also, Dan did confirm there would be more Marvel Legend reveals at Toy Fair. So there will be more reveals this week. Not many more, but there's still going to be a few other things to look out for, which is always fun, just to have something else to look forward to so soon. But we did get plenty today, so I'm not complaining at all. I genuinely think today was a good showing. So the Marvel live stream. Jay, before we get into any of the actual releases and the reveals from today, first thoughts, first impressions. Did you like what you see?
Well, I can give my reports now. I did a little pre-prep, a little video earlier, but I tried to do a whole video, not giving any thoughts, so I could save them for the stream. So now I can unleash. I can go full Rich. I think it was mixed. It was a mixed bag for me. There's some hits in there, and there's some strange decisions. I've already nicknamed some of these figures, so we will get to that as we go through. But it's nice that at least we have some figures to talk about. Dry January is over, and we're in full-on Toy Fair mode for February, because there is been loads of stuff and loads of companies, and it's good to have something to actually talk about.
Yes, so we had, as I said, I've got a poll in the chat right now that sort of breaks down the more significant reveals. So as always, we're starting off the stream by saying hello, and then we're going to get into the reveals. So if you're watching on the replay, we appreciate you as always. Give me 5 minutes, let me do the housekeeping. It's the 275th show, so you know how this goes. But there is a poll to get involved with if you are here live. It just quite simply says, what was your favourite reveal from today, all right? And I've only got 4 options. So what I'll give you is the Secret Wars Wave 2, the Maximum Thor, the Deluxe Onslaught, or was it something else? I know everybody's really excited for that Avengers The Crossing sets, but we'll discuss that a little bit later. So far, 45% of you guys, nearly 100 votes, are all saying Secret Wars Wave 2. Now, when we did Legends and Lick Out on Sunday, which was a mere like less than 48 hours ago, the poll said the same thing. We did expect it to be Secret Wars Wave 2. Now, there were a few leaked sort of retail lists for the Magic the Gathering wave, which is inevitable as well, which did make me think maybe they're going into a Magic direction today, but they didn't. They stuck strong with Secret Wars. Dan was even wearing his shirt that he's been holding off to show off, and the leaks were sort of right, sort of. As always, it's always a good baseline, but then things change when things get revealed. But get involved with the poll right now. Let us know out of those options what your favourite reveal was. 27% is for Maximum 4, 7%. Really excited for that onslaught. Don't worry, people. I've got a world exclusive for you right here. There you go. Here he is. This is the builder figure. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not complaining.
I wish I hadn't bought 2 of those now, but we'll get to that as we go on the stream. As a poor choice.
Jay might have something for sale.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me just scroll up and shout out a few names. The Guy was in here. So is Macaca, aka Ben. I'm just going to call you Ben. I'm going to stop trying to say your name. Change your name to just Ben, all right? It's all good. David says hello. Z-Man is there as well. Damien Ristori, Calls Cave. Who's very adamant there's going to be a Secret Wars Wave 3, and I hope there is. I really hope there is. We will discuss. Eric is here as well. California Red Devil. Let me know what the Man U score is. Not because I care if they win, because I like Man U, but I want that man to get a haircut, all right? Today's the last day. If he wins, he gets a haircut. So shout out Frank, the United Strand. I think Chelsea are winning, so I'm in good standing. Tac's there. 16 Mike Paul is there as well. He says, hello, Legends lovers. Secret Wars is a must for me. Just one gripe, Black Widow. Again, Domino on this super articulated book is a must. Absolutely. Give me all the females on that body. Mikey Moonboots says magic with the fire emojis. David, Evan and Smith are all here. All 3 of them are in attendance. Tommy Johnson is also here as well. Says Pet Avengers loading. And so is Simon, the Imagination Emporium. Shout out to you. Jason Lopez, the retweeting king, who is now a year older, of course. And so is your Balls Got Toys Virtual Days. FTM Figures. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're all doing well. Now remember, there will be a bonus show as always today. So I do have the target, the goal set in the chat right now. If we can get 5 super chats during the live stream, I will let the public stream stay open. And as always, after a Marvel Legend reveal panel, there's always a lot of people that want to talk about them. So it should be a packed after show. If you want some bonus content, support the channel and you shall get it. All right, you can do that by becoming a channel member by hitting that join button. Or you can go one step further and do a super chat Friday, anything over £4 or $4. She will read it out loud. Let us know your thoughts and feelings via the super chat and also support the channel while you're doing so. It seems like our good friend Brandon, the very first co-host of this show, has said,
the original,
the OG, he has said, shout out the Legends team for delivering my most favourite version of Thor ever. Absolutely beautiful figure. Brandon, have you had it in hand? Have you actually had your mitts on this figure yet? You work in the Hasbro building. Surely Dwight has had it on his desk. Have you had your figures with him? Rich isn't here. Rich is gone. He's gone. He's gone. Yes, he has. He's had it in his hand. California Red Devil, thank you very much. Kicking us off.
California Red Devil 6366 donated $4.99. Classic new Mutants Magik, wired capes. If we win 5 straight, I'm gonna look like Randy Marsh at the computer meme.
I know what meme that he's on about.
Never meme that one. A bit of South Park there for everybody.
There's white stuff everywhere. Shout out California Red Devil. Yeah, we're going to talk about that as well. Classic Magik, which is a great looking figure. Confusing though, another She-Hulk situation. Jamie says that Deluxe Archangel was great. Deluxe Archangel was great surprise. Love the Daredevil and Magik. 59 months is crazy. Do you have enough channel members for Jay emoji Mr. Who? Maybe I do. Jay, what would you want your emoji to be? Just your circle, your logo?
It's only got to go full pink in a circle. I've turned my sister's bag gift into a hanging sign.
Nice.
I've created this week.
Yeah, I can do that. I think I can work on that. Yeah, leave that with me. Shout out Arvin as well. Says, what's up, guys? Here a little late, but hope you guys are doing well. Arvin, don't you worry, my friend. You are here just in time because we are about to go through the reveal show. We say so. A massive thank you as always to Toy Arc for getting the images up for me, so I don't have to stress about finding them. But I do have the promo images to bounce to as well. So we now have the pretty promotional pictures, and we should also have most of the information for when these things go up for pre-order as well. As always with these things, Marvel Legends like to do a pile of reveals, and then those pre-orders will sort of see us through into the next sort of batch of reveals. That seems to be the pattern, and it works for Marvel Legends. So there we go. Today's live stream happened at 4 p.m. UK time. There's Dan. He said he was wearing the beanie and his T-shirt. Now, Cool seems to think the T-shirt may tease and give some hints towards future Secret Wars figures, and I hope he is right. He may very well be. There's Doc Ock on there, Magneto's on there, Black Panther's on there, Captain America's on there, who was already had, actually, haven't we? We've had Captain America. He's on my wall next to me. Yep. But yes, they were variant covers from the comics made into a shirt, which is still available to buy if you want to as well. So if you want to dress like Dan Yoon, you can do so. I got money in the bank. John Morrissey, thank you very much. He says...
At John Morrissey 4106 donated $6.16. Who is this bearded stranger? Where is Rich?
I think John knows exactly who you are. John's a big fan. Have you watched Legends of Liquor yet?
I have watched. I've watched the first 2 hours so far of Legends of Liquor, and John Morrissey, when he's flopping out those comic books and the figures that go with it, there. If we need a little bit of a backup there and some Marvel information, we know who we're calling.
He's already sent his application form in, and I said, yeah, we'll be tagging him in for a third when we do some deep dives. But he did say you were his favourite as well. So there you go. You are now John Morrissey's favourite.
Well, so thank you, John Morrissey. Cheeky Monkey has been his previous favourite as well, so it's you can share all the love in the household from John Morrissey.
Oh, it seems like you already have an emoji. Your boy's got toys. It's showing that off. There it is. Oh, it's not even on screen yet. Anyway, there you go. Shout out Dwight. Shout out Dan as always. First reveal. Nobody's surprised, but we're not mad at it. This is, of course, Falcon with Redwing. Now, this was the tease back in December, and it was the very obvious tease. Like, we're not mad at the teases when they're obvious, because let's be honest, we were all very annoyed with the gold bars tease that led to nowhere. So I don't mind them giving us a tease which is obviously pointing in one direction. So that did not bother me. So there is Redwing with a classic looking Falcon. Falcon was also originally on the Secret Wars packaging as well. So he's one of those characters which is a nice tribute to the original toy line, but also an opportunity to give us an updated sort of classic look for Falcon, because some of the more recent comic Falcons we've got have been a bit more modern. It does seem like these wings are new, unfortunately still on the same system, which plug into the arms, which can be a little bit fiddly, but if you get them in a nice pose, it still works for the display. I've got mine literally attached to my ceiling up there, and he is absolutely fine. So I do think these are new wings as they're a little bit more classic looking. The other ones are a bit more tech vibe, but we did get two Falcons previously. One was in a Build-A-Figure wave and one was on the grey card, but they were both modern designs. So this is a much more classic look, and I don't mind it at all. Completely pinless, new head sculpt as well with his mask, and yeah, I like this. What do you think of Falcon, Jay?
Well, we were off to an obvious but good start. So I'd like to, full disclosure here, from the co-host position, I've continued Rich's streak of not actually watching the live stream before, because I was at work when they decided to. They moved it to a Tuesday. I'm in the office on a Tuesday. So what I cleverly decided to do was listen to it in podcast form in the car. So I put the Bluetooth on and I listened to Dwight and Dan describe things. And because I missed some of the words because I was concentrating on driving, some of these reveals, I really did get messed up on who they were actually talking about, especially when we get to Constrictor later. But I gathered we'd started off with a Secret Wars wave and we gathered off with Falcon. So getting to actually see the thing, it does look pretty good. So what we needed with Falcon for many years, we've all said, it's a deep V. And we have the deepest of chest Vs there. It goes all the way down to the crotch. So you couldn't get much deeper if you tried with a deep V. So we needed a classic Falcon. And yeah, this does tick the box. So it was a strong start for me, as you said. Obvious because we had the tease, but one we needed. And you've got definitely new wings. I thought it was like two sets of wings there, but it's actually the it is two sets of wings. We've got a folded set as well. So I've listened to descriptions, but I've quickly flipped through the images, and that's about it. So
yeah, I don't know. I can't see if there's any pictures with those wings. Let me have a look on the promo images I've been sent and see if we've got a picture of that, because they do look like folded down wings, but it doesn't seem like any of the pictures show that. I
was thinking maybe they were top arm and then the big ones were at the bottom of the arm. You actually plug both in together, but they do look folded, don't they? So
Constrictor.
We will consult the computer images there.
Yeah, I've got the promo images sent over, so I can have a little scan through these real quick. There he is. Oh, there you go.
Here we go.
Yeah, there he is. So downwards wings. So that's a nice little packing. I don't mind that at all, because if you didn't want Falcon with his big wings out on display, taking up all the real estate, you can have the downwards wings, so they're a bit more compact. Don't mind that at all. Again, like you said, he's got the deep V, he's got the bare arms, different wings, and Redwing as well for the very first time in the Marvel Legends line. And again, a tribute to the original toy, as we will check these as we go through. Here's just a quick checklist I found online. But Falcon is there, like he is there on the original card. So again, fair game as a tribute, but also as an opportunity to give us a version that is needed in the Marvel Legends line. Still getting the lenticular shields, which again, you can't be mad at, because again, it's a tribute to that original toy line. If you don't want them in your display, that's absolutely fine, but it's just a tribute, so I'm not mad at that at all. He still comes with a nice assortment of accessories. There he is on display. Next up, Constrictor. Oh, Quinn Comics. Let me get Constrictor while Friday talks.
And Quinn_Comics donated $5. 3 down, 2 more to go. Excelsior.
I knew that would happen. This always happens. When I lean to get an action figure off the shelf while I'm live on YouTube, I always end up creating an avalanche, and I have now just made a mess. But it doesn't matter, because I'll be replacing this Constrictor on the display. So this is, I think his name is Frank, to be fair. Shout out Frank. Now, this was from the Epic Hero lines. He's got the T-jointed legs, very out. This is like 2012, maybe. So very old, very old. But he did start us off on a trail of getting some characters, but you couldn't remove the tentacles. They were stuck in there. You could not remove them. So it's an old, outdated body. So this is an update that, again, is accurate to the toy line. So if we go to the images here, he is now on a completely pinless body. And he now has the removable parts that do look like the same ones that come with Omega Red, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're the same ones. Yeah, and he has like a sort of, I don't mind that actually, like a transitioning sort of gradient effect. So they're like charging up or they're powering up, which I don't mind. He does look a lot beefier and bulkier. Pinless. Is that the Vulcan body? I don't know. Maybe.
He's got your butterflies in there. He is bulkier. Yeah,
he does look bulky. But yeah, it is an update. Like, it is an update for Constrictor, which I'm not mad at. Now, sometimes I do get a little bit grumpy when we get upgrades of characters we already have, when there are so many other characters in that team that we need. And in my mind, at least I have a Constrictor, but you can't argue that it isn't an upgrade. It's just, and it's also makes sense of the Secret Wars wave. So I'll give this one a pass, because it's an accurate tribute to the line, and it's a decent upgrade. But we still need more new Serpent Society members, is my point. But there he is. That's what he comes with. Jay, what do you think of Constrictor?
Well, to me, this wasn't Constrictor, because when this was announced, I was on a roundabout, and I was concentrating on the roundabout, and then I heard this description come out of Dwight's mouth about tentacles and having an energy effect going through the tentacles, and I thought, oh, they've done Doc Ock. They put Doc Ock on the retro card. The rumours must be wrong. Doc Ock is on the retro card with proper bendy tentacles. He's got energy surging through them. I was like, oh, this is going to be really fun. And I was like, no, it's Constrictor. Didn't. So I kind of set myself up for disappointment when it comes to this one. And then when I saw it, I thought, oh, that's just the reused tentacles. So I, in my head, was expecting from these descriptions these fantastic brand new tentacles. And then we do have some repaint of the Omega Red ones. But the figure I do want, when I last did the Marvel Legends display, this was rumoured, so I have pulled, the original Constrictor was pulled out of the collection here somewhere in a box to sell at Toy Fair. But now they have again just tanked his value because they've re-released a new one, and nobody's going to want that stupid thing with the ball hips. So overall, yeah, a bit of a semi-disappointment. Some of it my own fault through not understanding what they were actually saying. But I did need an update of Constrictor. We got the different colours with the light blue and the yellow as opposed to the dark blue and the orange. So it's a decent enough upgrade. I would have liked some bendy wire in it. I thought that one had bendy wire tentacles.
No, they're not.
Which is they're not. They're just floppy.
Bendy wire would be a game changer. Like this, like even if you're not familiar with the character, if this had bendy wire, it would be such a fun action figure to pose. Now it'd still be fun, but you're right. Bendy wire would take it up a notch for sure.
Yeah, so a little mixed on this one, but because I did think it was Doc Ock, and I think Doc Ock would look great on that card. So can we have Doc Ock in the next wave, please?
I'll be annoyed if we get Doc Ock on a Secret Wars card before we get him on a Spider-Man card. Like, that's just a selfish perspective. I understand it would be an accurate release on Secret Wars, but selfishly, I want Doc Ock on a Spider-Man first. But my only little other nitpick with this guy is that he has one fisted hand and one open hand. He doesn't have a set. So it always looks odd when you, like, when you're doing the school book poses, like, I just like to be able to do the neutral look. So I like the symmetry. So it's annoying that we don't have two fists or two open palms. You know, we don't even get one full set. We just get one of each. I'd rather sometimes think I'll just get an actual set. But again, that's everyone can make their own opinion on that. But tiny little nitpick. But it is an upgrade of a Serpent Society member. But can we actually get some new members of Serpent Society as well? That would be great. But I will let this one, as I mentioned, because he was also on the original card back in the day as well. Was he one of the European exclusives? I think he was.
I thought he was. Wasn't he one of the final ones that was in the UK here?
He might not be on this picture. I'm trying to have a little look. He might not be on that image, but I assure you he was technically on the Secret Wars. Oh, he is. He's up there. He's right next to Captain America. He's up there. In between Captain America and Daredevil. He is up there. So, yeah. So Constrictor, I'll give him a pass because it's a nice upgrade and it is an accurate tribute to the Secret Wars toy line. So there's Constrictor, looking good. Next up, now Jay, what did you call him before we started the stream?
Well, I have already nicknamed this fella when I got to finally see him again. Description, we thought he was coming, but this is not the Absorbing Man, ladies and gentlemen. I present to you the Unabsorbing Man because they seem to have forgotten the key part to the Absorbing Man. He needs to absorb something, and he's just a plain human.
Yeah, Absorbing Man was a part of the Secret Wars story. I don't think he ever had a figure back in the day. He's not on this checklist, but he was in Secret Wars. Like, he thought he was a gangster in the Secret Wars, and he wanted to lead the villains. And I think Doctor Doom shot him down. I think it was Kang or Doctor Doom shot him down very quickly, and he fell into command. But so he is part of the Secret Wars story. So he is a villain that makes sense in a Secret Wars tribute. But yeah, Jay's right. He's not absorbing anything. I think that will be the biggest nitpick. Well, not nitpick, it's a fair criticism that they didn't give us anything for Absorbing Man to absorb. Now, we have had a Build-A-Figure Absorbing Man many, many years ago who came with, I think he came with a wooden arm, a concrete, like metal arm, a stone arm as well, I think maybe. And
his face. They had a really cool face guy. I still love the Build-A-Figure, still one of my favourites. It might have the big fat ball hips, but it's still one of my favourites in the collection, and this one isn't beating it for me. Maybe you can do the scene where he's about to absorb something, so you can have Crusher Creel in his more human form before the absorption, because this is going to be a much smaller figure than that Build-A-Figure as well, which then gives me concerns as they make a Wrecking Crew, and they're all different, and they're bigger, because I like to pose him with the Wrecking Crew. So yeah, it's when they lost me a little bit on this one.
Oh, I don't know. It's not, the images ain't working for poor Absorbing Man. Don't worry. Don't worry. Let me go back. So the Build-A-Figure, though, would be a lot taller than this, right? Because the Build-A-Figure was based on that Sandman body as well. They were Sandman and Absorbing Man were the same. Money in the just good. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Just good custom potential here. It says Lucano. Luke, thank you for the super chat. I apologise. I can't read names. All right, have a simple name and I'll be able to read it. But I appreciate the super chat. Yes, good custom potential. People are thinking they're going to make custom Adam Batman Morans. I can see it. I can definitely see our good friend Adam.
I can see Rich is in the chat saying it is an Adam Moran actual figure there. And they had the debate. I believe the Droid was saying with Jesse for eyebrows or no eyebrows. So you team eyebrows or team no eyebrows in the chat for us, because he does have both versions there. I think actually the no eyebrows. So I'm going no eyebrows on this.
I love how they had an argument over no eyebrows or eyebrows, and nobody thought to think absorbing effects or no absorbing effects. Maybe that was worthy of an actual conversation rather than eyebrows or no eyebrows. If this guy had eyebrows or no eyebrows with some absorbing effects, I don't think anyone would have even noticed. So, but now we're all noticing he doesn't have the absorbing effects. Saying that though, if you are just happy to have Absorbing Man on the shelf, he still looks like Absorbing Man, just not absorbing anything. So it's not really a true reflection of his power set, but it's still Absorbing Man for the shelf to a certain degree. That chain and ball is not reuse either. I think that is new. Yeah, that's
it's definitely smaller than the other ones. Because I've got all 3 balls. That sounds a bit weird.
Oh,
but
wait, do you reckon this is an actual? Do you know usually when Hasbro make a new piece, it means they have something else in mind? Do you reckon them showing Absorbing Man with this new ball and chain is like confirming that they're doing a new Wrecking Crew? Because Hasbro don't just do one thing, do they? They always make something with the intention to use it for something else. So if they've made a brand new effect piece here of a ball and chain, are we going to see this again with the Wrecking Crew later down the line?
But are we going to see the Wrecking Crew in a smaller scale then, as opposed to the almost Build-A-Figure size of the original ones? Because this ball and chain is much smaller than the one they did previously.
Absorbing Man's smaller than the Build-A-Figure too.
Yeah.
Which I'm not mad at.
So
I'm not mad at.
At least they would scale. It might give me a use for the other Wrecking Crew that I couldn't flog when I tried to at Toy Fair before they eventually get around to doing a box. So it does look a nice figure, but it's more of a Crusher Creel figure than it is a full sort of Absorbing Man, because you want those powers. At least a grey arm absorbing the chain would have made I've taken an interchangeable arm rather than an interchangeable head for the conversation we just had with eyebrows or no eyebrows.
Yeah, I would have liked a metal arm, do you know, so when he's holding his chain, he's absorbing the metal from the chain. That would have been a nice touch. But it seems like both heads have a similar expression, just one's got eyebrows. Oh, okay, he's smiling with eyebrows and he's angry with no eyebrows. Well, no wonder he's angry. Someone shaved his eyebrows off, do you know? So understandable. One gripping hand, one open palm hand, and he does come with a set of fisted hands. So there's Absorbing Man. Again, not accurate in regards to the original toy line, but definitely a villain that probably could have been on the original toy line because of his appearance in the actual comic. So again, fair game on this one. This one, a little bit more confusing, but there is a loose tie-in. So of course we're getting Magik in her new Mutants uniform, which, just looking at that subjectively, I think she looks great. Like, I really do like the New Mutants team. I would like to build a modern, like, Hasbro version of the New Mutants team on the display. We got Danny Moonstar a good while ago as like a star, and then we've never really got anybody else. We have got Magik twice before, one in the Book of Ashanti San Diego Comic-Con box set, and then once again as a Walgreens exclusive. Is there any more? Am I forgetting any more? Is it just those two?
No, it's just, to me, it's just those two, because they basically redid that figure as an exclusive that was in the box set.
Yeah, so this is the first time in the Hasbro era we're getting her in her New Mutants uniform. Now, I'm not as familiar with Secret Wars 2, which happened in the 80s, I believe, but apparently Magik does appear in the Secret Wars 2 story in this uniform. Now, if you remember in Wave 1 of Marvel Legends Secret Wars, we got the Beyonder in his Secret Wars 2 look. So it isn't the first time they've gave us a look from the second Secret Wars story in this toy line. So again, it's one of those situations where they give a She-Hulk on an Iron Man retro card for the sake of getting her out there.
At Machulinia370 donated $5.
Thank you very much, Matthew. As always, just donates, doesn't say anything, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I think this is another similar situation to where it's a loose connection, but it's a new Magik, so this is a place that she can go. Jay, what do you think of New Mutants Magik? Do you like the New Mutants team? Do you like this?
Well, I have some mixed feelings here. So yeah, firstly, a weird choice for the Secret Wars card. I've read the original Secret Wars. I haven't read Secret Wars 2, but again, it's a bit like the She-Hulk on the Iron Man card situation. But I can get past that. It's a figure on the card, and it's a pretty decent looking Magik figure in the New Mutants outfit there. One that I think we do need in the collection, but we need it to go with the New Mutants team. And we've had the release before of Danny Moonstar with the Karma head and the Wolfsbane head, but the thing I've noticed here, clear as day to me, is those were in almost a dark yellowish orange. Magik here is in bright yellow. They're not going to match on the shelf. The uniforms aren't going to look as coherent.
They're completely different eras. So this Magik is in the sort of first New Mutants costume with the yellow sort of more stripe on down the side. The Danny Moonstar is the sort of more modern New Mutants uniform that has the X in the middle as well. So they don't match essentially, but it's still Magik because she has the arm. I don't mind her costume on a display looking a little bit different, if you know what I mean. And like Rich says in the comments, just give us another arm and you've got a base body for a female New Mutant characters. So it would have been weird to look at in the packaging to just have an additional arm and some heads, but it's definitely an option they could have went. So again, Dan Yoon did say out loud we would get another New Mutants character this year. Now, I think that is in relation to the teasers on the Emma Frost box and also the Onslaught box that they are completely ignoring, by the way. Like, they're literally showing off the packaging and just ignoring that we can see that. But obviously, Doug Ramsey, Cypher, and Cannonball, their heads.
Cannonball are on there, aren't they? Yeah.
What was interesting about that is that Dan Yoon didn't say there would be more New Mutants coming. He said there would be one more New Mutants coming, which makes me think that whatever we get, Danny Moonstar, whatever we get, Cannonball or Doug, is going to be a pair of heads. Yes, we're going to get one base body with a packing head. So whether they label it as, I reckon they should label it as Doug Ramsey because we've got Cannonball in his X-Force uniform a couple of times. So I think it's going to be a Doug Ramsey figure with an additional Cannonball head just for the quick swap. I think technically one's taller than the other, but again, you can make it work on a display. So that's my guess, just based off what Dan said, but I could be reading too much into it. Hopefully we get Cannonball and Doug Ramsey as two separate figures, but I'm guessing now, based off Dan saying there'd be one more, and we've got two New Mutant heads on that packaging, it's going to be a Danny Moonstar male situation. But now they've got this body, just give us an extra arm, Hasbro. Give us an extra arm and we're good to go. She does look good.
We still need a Sunspot, don't we? We've had Sunspot in the X-Men 97. That was a brighter yellow. You might be able to... There's a lot of kind of fudging in, but what this compulsive collector thing is what I need to know, because I know John has been after New Mutants, but we need a coherent team here.
Yeah, both John and Rich are in the chat, and both are saying Cannonball would sell more than Cypher, and then John goes, that's true, no one liked Doug in the 80s. I just think we've had a couple of Cannonballs, so maybe they just do something different and brand it as Cypher, and they give him some, like, maybe some Warlock accessories, because he maybe.
Does he become Douglock, doesn't he? Yes, he gets like the Phalanx arm, and then that would be more of an interesting figure to come. They need to get on. We need to have a box set of New Mutants, don't we? Like, I don't know, let's call it a Demon Bear Saga box set of some description, and let's have we need something for the New Mutants to actually bring a nice team together. Because you were saying that, like I said, they're different colours, but you're saying they're different eras as well. So we need an 80s New Mutants team in Thor. So we started it off here. So if this is the start of something, then yeah, I'll be in on this. I'll be in on this Magik, and then we will start from there.
Yeah, she's on a sort of standard female body, not the most articulated. I would appreciate the waist. She's got the. I want that Black Widow articulation, is what I'm saying. The actual waist sort of crunch and the diaphragm cut up top. But this just has the diaphragm top, so I don't know how much bend you're going to get moving her forward. The poses here don't really demonstrate much movement there, do they? So he might have struggled to get her into some poses. So that's a slight criticism.
I've got a custom for you with this. I've got a custom here for you.
Go on.
Amanda. Look at that haircut there.
To be fair, Amanda has blonde hair and bangs. So that is Amanda's got free. That does. Maybe Amanda grows her hair. I'll show her later. See what she thinks. But see what you
get to MCM in full cosplay.
Amanda dressed as Magik
with metallic arm, dear. Wear that all day.
There you go. So there is Magik. She looks good, and there is a loose connection to Secret Wars, but it is a very thin thread. But
it does look weird on the card, doesn't it? Like New Mutants, Magik in Secret. Yeah, it doesn't quite look right on the.
A lot of people though, Jay, just open the figure out and put her on display. People don't give a shit about the packaging. Yeah. So
no, I will be.
if you
I
don't,
will be doing that. I listened to Legend of Liquor though. Tom was saying he's all in for these double cards. I wonder if he's happy. Mini Plastic Mortimer's there for an outlier to Secret Wars at best with Magic on the card.
Yeah, loose connection. But yeah, she comes with an extra hand as well for each side, and it seems like a set of fisted hands for each hand as well. So yeah, happy days. There she is. Next up, now this one was the most interesting or surprising, shall I say, because we thought we would get another Spider-Man. It was on the leaked list, we'd get Spider-Man. Now in Wave 1, we got the black suit, because the black suit debuted in Secret Wars 6. He got that blob of goo to help repair his costume. At the time, it wasn't a symbiote, it wasn't Venom. At the time, it was just a black costume. But of course, it has all been now the origins of the symbiote and Venom, etc. So we got the all black with Wave 1. So we just thought Wave 2 would make sense to give you regular Spider-Man, as it's Spider-Man, he always sells, and we also got both versions, you can see down here, of Black Suit Spider-Man and regular Spider-Man on the Secret Wars card. But they've went a little bit different here, which, do you know what, I'm not mad at. I don't mind them trying something different, especially with a character like Spider-Man, who's got so many action figures. Why not try something a little bit different? Now, if you want to be a purist to the card back, you may be a little bit frustrated here that if you were planning to display the cards, you've now got a Spider-Man that's half absorbed by the symbiote. So I can see that side of it as well. If you're a purist and you're buying these for the nostalgic attachment and the displayability of the cards. But if you're buying this to open up, then it's something different for the display. But looking at that card, it does look a little bit odd. But some people may like that it's a sort of a little nod to the origins of the costume now on the card, with still having the traditional red and blue, but you've also got the sort of acknowledgement of the black. And they've even give you a little bit of blob of symbiote goo down there as well, so he can hold in his hand. So yeah, this was an interesting one. It was a surprising one. It's on the Renew Your Vows body, so it would articulate really well. And yeah, what do you think, Jay?
It's a little out of left field, and I really like it. This is potentially one of my favourite figures of this actual wave, because it's something I've always wanted in the collection, something different. We've seen so many panels and cartoons of Spidey getting absorbed by the symbiote, and it's just not something we've had in figure form. So I actually do really like this one. I'm actually quite looking forward to him on the display with the, again, as you say, on cards, not particularly good for the purists. You've got the alien costume written in there, which is the same name of the graphic novels they have, the Alien Costume Saga. Started to read through this. I like the symbiote coming. We've got some sculpture on there. I'm assuming we've got a reuse of the battle damaged Spider-Man right arm, because you can see some of the costume is ripped away on the right arm there. And I like it overtaking. I really do like this one because it is something different. We get so many Spider-Man. Spider-Man is, if I had to choose a favourite Marvel hero, it would be Spider-Man. It's what I grew up with in the 90s with the animated series. And yeah, I think this is something interesting for the shelf. A bit like you've always wanted that battle ravaged Spider-Man. Yeah. It's one I want is being overtaken with a symbiote. So I think this will sell really well. To be honest, this will probably be the second best figure in the wave, and we probably haven't seen the bestseller yet.
Okay, well, yeah, again, I'm not mad at it. Like, I don't really have any strong feelings either way. Like, it's not something that massively excites me, but not something I'm mad at either. Like, I don't mind them when they try something different with a character that we've got plenty of versions of. It's not like this was our only opportunity to get a regular Spider-Man. There's plenty of opportunities, so why not do something a little bit different? My only caveat with that is if you're a purist and you wanted the card to be a true tribute to what the original was 40 years ago, it may annoy you a little bit. But just as an action figure, taking it out the packaging, it's partly symbiote taking over Spider-Man body, and they've executed pretty well. And yeah, good spot with the reuse there with the battle damaged arm, which would make sense because his costume was damaged and he needed to go and get it fixed, and that was the whole point of the symbiote costume. So
Renew Your Vows, they said the body was as well, didn't they? On this,
which is a decent body,
toe hinges,
which is a good base body for Spider-Man. So yeah, interesting one. That one was a surprise. Next up, I think this is the one people were waiting for. Now, we have got multiple Daredevils in recent time, but they have always been attached to another figure. So we got the sort of Frank Miller sort of looking cell shading version in the VHS set with, I think it was Hydro Man, which now goes for like 150 quid online. So I hope if you had one, you were selling it, because I think this may knock the aftermarket value down a little bit. And also there's the 3-pack version with White Electra and the variant Bullseye as well. Again, another really sought after, hard to get pack. So they were really expensive on the aftermarket. So people...
There's also the other pack, isn't there? The Defenders pack. There's another one in with Luke Cage and a Jewel.
There's another one from the original Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure wave as well, but they're on the Bookie Cap bodies. I'm referring to like the better articulated bodies are the VHS 2-pack and the 3-pack version. The other ones are all Bookie Cap, if you know what I mean. So there's never been a single packed good body type red Daredevil until now. Here we go. So this is again another solid tribute, as Daredevil was on the original Secret Wars packaging. He was on the rumored list to be in this wave, and unlike Spider-Man, where they've tried to do something a little bit different, they've just give you a nice red Daredevil costume. He's got the big double D's on the front. Who isn't a fan of big double D's on the front? So big double D there on the front. With the
black, what you're trying to describe there, sir.
With the black trim there. And I do like the effect piece as well. Now, it looks like the effect piece plugs into the head, but it actually plugs into the back. So most Marvel Legends have a hole in the back of their body, even if they have nothing to plug into them. Well, now you know you can plug in this effect piece and it sort of replicates his radar ability that you see in the comics all over the place. So I don't think we've actually got an effect like that in the Marvel Legends 6-inch line yet for Daredevil. So I don't mind that at all, giving us something a little bit different, which if the rest of our Daredevils have got holes in the back, maybe we could use them on the previous versions as well. I don't have any to hand, but someone can confirm that in the comments. Do the previous Daredevils also have a hole in so we can reuse this effect piece on our other displays? But yeah, red Daredevil. This is going to be a hot seller. This will be the hotcake seller of the set. Let's have a look at his loadout here with the accessories.
He's suffering from this again, though. You got the fist in single hand as earlier.
Tiny knit. Surely it costs pennies. Again, I don't know anything. It's easy for me to sit in my armchair and shout this. I don't know. I don't run a company. But surely adding a couple of hands in ain't going to make much of a difference to the budget. But it is what it is. So one fisted hand, one open hand, or sort of more dynamic, sort of expressive hand, and then 2 gripping hands so we can hold his billy clubs. Again, I like it when you can actually, people, customize the wire that goes through the billy clubs and to display it and stuff like that. So I'm sure people are going to be swapping out those billy clubs for some custom ones because it does bring the display to life. But otherwise, it's on a good pinless base body with some interest. They don't even show the accessory in this image, by the way, but obviously the other accessory is included. So Jay, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, as I say, I think this will be the hot seller away. People have been clamoring for a single pack Daredevil for absolutely eons at this point. I really thought this would be saved for a maximum figure. We'd get a maximum Daredevil with a new... I think they said this is a new body, and then with a load of more accessories chucked in. So at least you haven't got to pay £50 for it, which is a bonus, because this will be normal retail. I like the effect we've got there. The articulation seems really good, even though mine will probably just be standing pretty much straight up on the display. But I think he looks really nice. He does have the very prominent logo, and I've seen a few complain about the boots with like the black lining on the boots and the gloves. So it's not a pure sort of just plain red costume. So there are a few nitpicks there potentially. Costume-wise, I like the head sculpt. I think it's a pretty strong Daredevil overall. No complaints really from me, apart from I'd like just something to connect the billy clubs together, because they've done those little plastic connector things before. I think that would have been a little thing to chuck in, but at least you've got like the sonar style radar there. And I think Cloud has confirmed that the other one doesn't have peg holes in the back. And Kurt has woke up because he's seen Daredevil, so he just needs a stick.
He just needs a stick. He's holding 2 billy clubs, not quite a stick, but yeah, he needs a mental stick. I'm looking at the body here, and I'm not the best at guessing. Like, there's always somebody better than me at guessing the body types and stuff like that, but it does seem there's like a lot more wrinkles and sculpted texture on this body compared to maybe the 3-pack Daredevil, for example. And also, I don't know if it's just the image, the way it's taught, but he does look a bit muscular. Do you know, the musculature of the upper body does seem a bit more defined, doesn't it, compared to the previous Daredevils? And that's without seeing them and doing a side-by-side comparison. So sometimes when Dwight says stuff, you don't know if he's just misremembering stuff, because again, the man's been there 20 years. He has to remember a lot of stuff. But I do think on this occasion he may be onto something. What do the chat think? Do you guys think this is a new body? This isn't reuse. This isn't that same 3-pack Daredevil. This is a new body, or there are new elements on here. But again, pinless. He's got the better articulation as he's got the crunch at the waist, diaphragm at the top, butterfly joints, double jointed knees and elbows, thigh cuts, boot cuts it seems as well. Maybe drop down hits. I'm assuming, can we tell from any of these images? Maybe with the way his legs coming up there to 90. I think he looks good. I think people will be happy with this. And like you said, even though he's not like the purest form of Red Daredevil, I think they have to give him a little bit of a difference just to make this one different to the ones we've got, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, I don't mind the problem with the logo. They say it's different. The other one hardly has any logo. It's quite a faded style.
You don't even
logo,
see,
so I actually quite like that. I'm a fan of double D's, as you say. What more can I say?
Isn't?
There's
yeah, there he is, front and centre.
Yeah, I'll be the one to pre-order if you're gonna. I don't say I try not to pre-order everything, but I think that will be the one that won't last particularly long. The fact that it is a new Daredevil and it's not maximum, I think, is a bit of a win.
Let me just go to the original leak list just to see. Now we know what they got right and what we would change. So. The original list.
Are we getting up the graphic?
Yeah, pulling up the graphic. So this was the elite list, right? So let's see what the Constrictor. Where's that one's right? So Constrictor, check. Falcon, check. Absorbing Man, check. Literally. That top row on the leaked on this leaked image that I've been showing for ages is exactly the same top row we get there. Then we get a Daredevil and Spider-Man. Check, check. Obviously, Spider-Man's got a little bit of a difference, but we're not mad about that, or maybe you are, up to you. But again, Spider-Man and Daredevil as characters were both correct. And then I always had a question mark next to Volcana, because that's who I wanted. I was always putting what I wanted into the universe, but it was never known what the 6th figure was. And we were just hoping it would be another female. And because we got Titania in the first wave, who was a unique character created in Secret Wars, we'd get her a companion, which was Volcana in Wave 2, as it would be another new character, another female. It would make a nice comparison piece to Titania. Unfortunately, instead, we get a curveball and we get Magik. Now, as much as we like Magik and we like the New Mutants Magik, I would have preferred, like, just, if this was me picking this wave, I'm not really challenging the other ones that much. I think they make sense for Secret Wars, whether they're a tribute to the story or to the original toys. Magik would be the one that I'd be in the boardroom saying, can't we do Volcana? Do you know? So what do you think with the lineup? Do you reckon it's good?
Could you go back to your graphic, please, sir?
Yes,
could you go back to your graphic? Because I've got to cut the nitpicks here with you. So we have seen this graphic so many times. You've literally got Volcana ingrained on my brain, but I thought it probably wasn't going to be that, but it was ingrained on my brain. I was just putting
into the universe. That's all it was. I'm trying to make it happen.
If I could have randomly picked 6th character, I would have picked Hobgoblin, because I love the Hobgoblin and he was on the original card. But my main nitpick here is with Absorbing Man there, because if you look at the image you chose, now you chose this image. It's not a card back image. You chose Absorbing Man with a ball with no absorbing arms in his purple trousers. So you have literally put this figure into the universe, because that is the one they picked. They've seen this stream and they've made that one.
Look, they've got.
So where's my absorbing arm?
That top row is exactly the same top row I was showing off. And like, yes, I took these leak lists from like, I think David Displays was probably the first person to put the news out there. But yeah, otherwise it was bang on, wasn't it? Apart from Volcana, which we always knew. That's what the question marks there, people, because I always knew it wasn't right. I was just hoping. I was putting some wishes and thoughts into the universe. So I still want Volcana. And since we have got Iceman as like a single release, hopefully maybe there's another opportunity for a single release version. These are all the other figures.
Deploy that. You've reminded me there.
Yeah, so maybe there are. more opportunities for Secret Wars, maybe a wave 3 down the line, who knows, but there are other characters. So let's just go through this list real quick. Baron Mordo, we don't have, so there's one more we need. We've got Captain America now, we've got Constrictor, we've got, who's that, Daredevil. We don't have Doctor Doom on this card, so there's 2 characters. We've got Iron Man, what's that one down there, Iceman, we've got Iceman. We don't have Hobgoblin, so there's 3. We've got Falcon. We don't have Electro, there's 4. We don't have Doc Ock, there's 5. We don't have Kang, so there's 6. We don't have Magneto, there's 7. We've got both versions of Spider-Man, sort of. Granted, they did something a little bit different with the original costume, but we will allow it. And we also have Wolverine as well. So technically, there are 7 characters that were on the original Secret Wars packaging that we don't currently have. So there's enough there for another wave and another regular figure. So if they wanted to do a wave 3, there are plenty there. And there were, of course, plenty of characters within the story that could be fair game to put on the card as well. So, yeah, there you go. So Secret Wars Wave 2, I'm not mad at it. I love the card back. It's a tribute to the very first sort of proper action figure line. I know people can always argue what the actual first Marvel representation was in action figure form, but in my mind, from my perspective, this Mattel Secret Wars line was a true collaboration from comics. Like, the comic was created to sell toys. The toys were there to introduce kids to the comics. Do you know, like, it was a nice sort of synergy of the source material and the things we love. So I'm glad to see it continue. I would like to see another wave as well. Yeah, no complaints from me. Everything here I want. Everything here I'm getting. Falcon's a nice classic look. Constrictor's a decent upgrade. Absorbing Man, a little bit frustrating, but I still quite like it. And he looks like how he looked in Secret Wars. Daredevil's great. I quite like the Spider-Man as well. And Magik, again, the most head scratcher, but I like it. Give me your top 3, Jay, then.
Top 3. Number 3, we would take Falcon, because we need a classic Falcon in the line. Number 2, I think it's actually going to be Magik. Okay. It looks weird on the card, but we need that outfit.
It looks good, yeah.
And number 1, it's going to be alien costume Spider-Man. I like the symbiote taking over. I think that's a cool look. So he's going to take number 1.
Daredevil doesn't even get into Jay's top 3,
he
people.
Doesn't, no.
Let me know your top 3 in the chat, and I'll read a couple out. But let me know your top 3 off this Secret Wars wave in the chat. What would it be? Again, Magik is the most head scratcher, but like Jay said, it's a good figure and we need her. And most people are going to rip these out of the packaging and put them on their shelf anyway, and you can put them wherever you want on your shelf, and it doesn't even matter what packaging they came in. So that She-Hulk that came in the Iron Man packaging, she's not standing next to Iron Man on my shelf, so you can do whatever you want. David Mitchell says Daredevil, Spider-Man and Magik. Yin Zing Toy Guy says Magik, Falcon and Daredevil. Tak says Falcon, Daredevil and Absorbing Man. Dr. Oh No, he says Daredevil, Magik and Absorbing Man. Arvin says Daredevil, Falcon and Magik. So yeah, a lot of Magics in there. And Daredevil, of course, as we would expect. Cloud can pass on this wave, but good to see upgrades. Actually, Yazinga Toy Guy's changed his mind. He says actually Magik, Constrictor and Daredevil. Daredevil, Constrictor and Magik, says Ali Coven. Mikey Moonboot says Magik, Daredevil, Falcon. Damien says Constrictor, Falcon, Absorbing Man, which doesn't surprise me. Damien does love the oddball villains. Simon says Daredevil, Spider-Man and Falcon. Quinn Comics, Magik, Daredevil, Spider-Man. Kurt says Daredevil, Magik and Absorbing Man. Jamie says bottom row. And California Red Devil says all of them. He loves this card. Good stuff. So let's keep going through then, shall we? Because that was just the start, people. That was just the sort of start of the show before they got into more reveals. So let me flip through these images now and remember what they revealed next.
Where did we go next? So in my travelling journey, I got past the roundabout and I was onto the motorway after this. So where did I go on the motorway? I think I got to some 2-packs, if I remember.
So this is actually a good segue because they ended Secret Wars with Daredevil, which was a very nice transition into a comic 2-pack I did not see coming, as it is a comic 2-pack of Muse and Bullseye. So these are two characters that were rumoured on the leaked list, and everybody just assumed they were from Daredevil Born Again, because of course both Muse and Bullseye are two villains in Daredevil Born Again. So all of us have just assumed it's got to be Daredevil. It's comic versions. And do you know what, Jay? I'm not mad about that. I think this comic news looks really good.
I was on the motorway. I heard what they were talking about, this red paint, and I thought, are they trying to take the mick a bit? And they're actually talking about blood, but they can't say it. And then they start saying Muse. Oh, it's the MCU versions. And then because I hadn't seen the images, and then they start saying, oh, it's comic. So I was like, oh, okay. Very this is my pick of the day. That Muse is something I was not expecting in figure form, just because of the age rating of the character, but it is 14 plus on the box, which is how they've gotten away with it, I think.
Yes, down there. So for anyone who doesn't know, just in its very simple terms, Muse is obviously a Daredevil villain, and that red paint isn't red paint. I don't work for Hasbro. I can say it. It is the blood of his victims. He makes murals. He makes artwork with the blood of his victims. They sort of go into it in the Daredevil Born Again. I think they underplayed the character of Muse in the live action show. Like, I think he could have been I don't know. They sort of got rid of him very quickly, unfortunately. Spoiler alert.
Fast, wasn't he? Went through that,
because the villain in the comics is very dark, and I didn't think we'd ever get a comic version. I thought we'd get maybe a live action version now, but I didn't think it was a direction they would go in the comic world. But I am here for it. So we'll talk about Bullseye in a minute, but I just wanted to spotlight Muse here because it's a first time in the line character, which I always appreciate, and it's another Daredevil street sort of guy that I like adding to that rogues gallery of Daredevil villains. We've got characters like Kingpin, Jigsaw, Bullseye, Elektra, and now we can add Muse to that list as well. So he looks good, doesn't he? Completely pinless.
It's a front rower for me, this one, especially. He does look really good. I generally am quite surprised. It seems to be the year of blood, because Mattel have started to do this with the wrestling line. We had our first, literally this year, a bloody Stone Cold Steve Austin. So it wasn't exclusive. This isn't exclusive, so it is a Pulse exclusive, I do believe.
Yeah,
so
maybe that's what. Maybe that's how they got it out there. Yeah.
So the year of blood, everybody. What did we think? Or red paint, if we're being on brand there. Red paint. So lovely bit of artistry done there.
We can say blood. We can say this is blood. Hasbro are selling action figures covered in blood. That's 14 plus, like Jay said, on the packaging, and it's a Pulse exclusive because they're probably not allowed to put it on retail shelves or have it available on Amazon where your child can accidentally find it. I don't know what nonsense they have to follow, but rules be the rules. But we don't mind as long as they find a way to make it happen. It seems like as well, looking at this, the chest harness piece, that's a separate piece that goes up and over the shoulders, so it shouldn't hinder the ab crunch as well. He's got the ab crunch, he's got the butterfly joints, double jointed pinless knees and elbows, which we appreciate. A lot of texture on the trousers as well, which does give me live action vibes. Like, if you wanted this to accompany your Daredevil Born Again on your live action display, as much as I don't like crossing the lines between live action and comics, I'm against that. I do think this is one that you could probably get away with as a placeholder for now, as the comic look is obviously
literally the same, isn't it? Yeah, it's literally the same design.
And it's got a lot of texture on, which a lot of the MCU figures usually do. So yeah, I like the red eyes as well with the mask and the beanie. Now we know why Dan was wearing a beanie, and now we know why Dan was teasing that Bullseye meme on Sunday. So on Legend of the Liquor, we showed the Bullseye meme Dan was teasing. Dan knows what he's doing. He's leading everyone in the wrong direction because it made us all think Daredevil Born Again. And then he said no MCU figures. And we're like, oh, well, now we know why. There we go. His backpack's on. He's got a can of paint as well. Jay, do you reckon if you shake it, it's got a little noise in it? Or they don't do the Mezco style accessories?
I don't think the Mezco one does. I don't think they've gone quite that far. And the chat again is hashtag justice for tits. That is going on the chat, because if we go, Rich was mentioning there that if we can get blood, where's the underboob for the Goblin Queen? So maybe a 14 plus set could be coming. Are we going into a new year, a new era of tits and blood?
I think these toy companies, I think the analytics, they make decisions based on data, okay? It's a business, isn't it, right? And the analytics are now there to prove that the majority of people buying toys are adults. So they have to know that there is potential for these more mature themed items, and like a bit of blood is like, it's nothing from a comic book page. Do you know what I mean? And like under boob should be fair game as well. I'm just think I've got headphones on and Amanda's just going, what the hell is he talking about? She just opened the door for no reason. But anyway, next up we have Bullseye. Now a lot of people are asking what version of Bullseye this is. I myself also was not familiar, so I did have to seek out the support of the super producer Rich, who has informed me this is from the sort of arc in the Chip Zdarsky run of Daredevil. So it's Daredevil Volume 4, and technically if you want the comic reference to go and look at this, it is issue 19 from 2020. So it's Daredevil Volume 4, issue 19 from the year 2020, where Bullseye has his own little team. Now, Jay, do you know who is in Bullseye's little team as they go on the streets of Hell's Kitchen and cause menace? Yes.
I can't say I do. I'll have to consult Comic Story in here on YouTube later and watch the entire run. I have actually started watching the start of that run on their channel.
Can you recognise?
Let's take a guess.
Can you recognise these characters?
Oh, so we got Crossbones at the start there. Yeah. We got the Rhino.
Crossbones and Rhino, correct.
Who else have we got there?
Now, that guy we don't have in Marvel Legends form, okay? So that guy's called Bullet. Like, I didn't know who that was either. I had to ask Rich. So that guy's called Bullet. But this guy we do have in the Marvel Legends line.
Is it what they call the Demolition Man or a Scourge or something? It looks a bit like that design.
He was a builder figure.
It's a builder figure?
Yeah.
Okay,
any guesses in the chat? Any guesses in the chat? Who is that next to Rhino? So it's obviously Crossbones. So we got Bullseye, Bullet, Crossbones, Rhino, and who is that guy in the metal look?
Cloud, right? I'm going to steal from the chat. I'm going to steal from Cloud. It's Stiltman.
It's Stiltman, yeah, it's Stiltman. It's Stiltman. So technically, right now, we don't have Bullet, and I know the costumes are a little bit different, etc. But Rhino, Crossbones, Stiltman, we have all in the Marvel Legends line already. We just don't have Bullet. So if you wanted to put Bullseye in a little team of misfits to cause some trouble in Hell's Kitchen, then you now have an accurate look for Bullseye as well.
It's not a design I was familiar with, as you say, but we haven't really seen, talking about the Series 2 of Daredevil, we've not really seen Bullseye in a costume. I think this would translate into live action pretty well, actually, as a costume. So they should do something like this in Series 2 of Born Again, because I actually quite like that for a modern tactical military design of Bullseye. So it makes for an interesting two-pack, this one. This is definitely a pick of the day for me.
Yeah, very tactical sort of militant style for sure. And they're basically on the streets of Hell Kitchen causing chaos. And it's a nice little villainous team. But also, if you are here's a better look at the comic design as well, if you were curious. The end. What's it say down there? The end of Kill, that's the storyline name, The End of Kill. But yeah, issue 19, 2020, Volume 4 Daredevil. That's where you'll find the sort of start of Bullseye teaming up with these people. It's pretty accurate to that look there. If we bounce from side to side, and you get the two heads as well. So you may not be familiar with it, but that's okay, people. You learn via the medium of action figures, all right? You don't have to not like it just because you're not familiar with it. Use it as an opportunity to have a little look. That's exactly what I did. I went and had a skim through the issue and had a look at his little team. And do you know what another character was in that story? I sort of
Elektra.
I did, yeah. I told you at the start, yeah. Elektra. So this Bullseye fights Elektra while she is Daredevil, essentially. She takes up the role as Daredevil, while Matt's obviously up for trial, etc. So if you have this version of Elektra, which we do have in the Marvel Legends line, she was in the Spider-Man card backs on that sort of modern card. So if you wanted to, you could pose up this new Bullseye battling this Elektra, and it would be comic accurate, people, all right? So don't think that this Bullseye is out of place. There are places you can put him on your display. And again, he's got some blood on his axe as well, which is a nice touch. And he comes with both heads as well. So yeah, you've got the mask on.
Oh, he's got a bloody head as well, isn't he?
Yes.
I didn't notice the head. Oh, okay. Yeah,
there you go.
Well, I like this, and I've got that Elektra, so I've got something to do with this Bullseye now. So
yes.
Yeah, we are educating the masses here, sir, with the this looks so. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this.
Yeah,
so.
and they got a nice little loadout of accessories between them as well. Like you can't hardly see on the packaging, but Muse does come with all of those red hands as well. So he's got a couple of expressive hands, fisted hands, and obviously hands to hold that arsenal, which is a paint can, a machete, a dagger, a hack. Is that a hack? What's that?
A little hatchet thing.
Yeah, hatchet, that's the word I was looking for, hatchet. And all of these accessories are bloody as well, that you can now use with other Marvel Legends as well. Go for it. And I do like that Bullseye head. Now, I'm curious if I think the Bullseye is black, so that head might fit, that bloody head might fit on that variant darker Bullseye that came in the Daredevil 3-pack. Maybe, I don't know how well the colours will match there. We will have to find out. But he also comes with an array of hands, a rifle, and one of the hands does have all his knives in because the guy is covered in knives, obviously. So I quite like it. I like. It's not my mind's eye of Bullseye by any means, but as a more sort of tactical-looking militant Bullseye, I don't mind it at all. So I'll find a place for it under display for sure. Yeah,
this is a that's what we like to be. Is sometimes surprised. I don't recall that being on a leak list. It may have been. I've not noticed it, but it's nice to have a surprise and something that's actually a bit again out of left field. Something I would not have expected them to do. And our first bloody Marvel Legends. So hopefully it does actually lead to more in the future and some proper battle damage and stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm just looking at so 4th of March, this goes up for pre-order. So if you are thinking of getting this, 4th of March is your pre-order, and it's a Pulse exclusive because it is covered in red paint. Red paint, people, there you go. So let me skim through these. So yeah, that was a nice surprise. I didn't mind that at all. I love adding new characters to this shelf, and it's a Muse is a nice comic villain, and an evil comic villain to add to the shelf. So yeah, that's a great looking figure. Next up, let's go. Woo!
We're off, everybody.
Let's get excited. Let's try and hype ourselves up for this one. Okay. This is 1995, The Avengers, The Crossing story. Now, Rich, I always tell you guys I like to learn via the medium of action figures, right? So when these were on the leaked list, I said to Rich, oh, should I read Avengers The Crossing? And I trust Rich's opinion. Rich sort of knows what I like and don't like. And Rich said, don't waste your time. So I haven't went back and actually read this arc of the Avengers, but these are the character designs from that particular run. So I do have some comic reference here. So here I have a double page spread of the Avengers Crossing. So this is the first 2-pack, Black Widow and Quicksilver. So they're front and center. That is the first 2-pack. We are rumored to get another 2-pack, which is Quicksilver. With Vision and Scarlet Witch, because you've got to pair Vision and Scarlet Witch together.
Hence Vision, okay.
But then you've got other characters in this as well. I think Iron Man's a bit of a bad guy in this. I can't remember. Maybe he double crosses somebody. Anything. Thor's got a really weird costume in this as well. Bullseye's involved as well. And is that? It looks like Atlas, but I think it's Giant Man. I assume it's Giant Man in a different costume, but he looks more like Atlas from Thunderbolts. But I think it's Hank Pym. Is that Hank Pym? Is that Hank Pym, people? It has to be.
That's very 90s. That is very 90s artwork. Well, Rich isn't the only one that's told me never to read the Avengers Crossing, because as I got into the omnibuses and the graphic novels, I started watching all the channels, and the Near Mint Condition seems to be the biggest sort of Marvel omnibus channel out there. And they always say, yeah, The Crossing, absolute terrible story. And then they come on here, and Rich is always saying one of the worst things you could ever read. So I've never paid any attention to this, apart from seeing this cover multiple times. So at least the figures look accurate to what we are seeing pretty much here, but not a very popular storyline, but some crazy designs though. So they might look fun on a shelf rather than. I kind of want to read it now and see how bad the story actually is.
I skimmed through the first issue earlier today, and I'm just not a fan of the art myself. Now, a lot of people will like that art, and that's absolutely fine. I'm just not a big fan of the art. I don't look at any of these and think, oh, that's my version of this character. They just look at. Do you know what it looks like? It looks like AOA version of Avengers. Do you know, it looks like variant versions of the Avengers, same. And I never liked AOA in the 90s either, because it was like...
Wasn't it the same time frame?
Yeah, it sort of was.
95, 96, yeah. So that would have been... This was mid-90s comic books.
That's the vibe it gives me. Let me read Lorenz's channel member token. Thank you very much, Lorenz. He says, I plan on getting 3 of this pack. I will be putting them with my collector of Warbow figures. I absolutely stellar offering here, guys. Couldn't be happier to get this. Overjoyed. So as you can see, Lorenz is a big fan of Avengers Crossing. He obviously started his Marvel Legend collecting with X-Men because there were no Avenger Crossing characters available until now. So I think he's probably going to downsize his Marvel collection now just to focus purely on Avengers Crossing. So yeah, if you see Lorenz out and about, just be sure he is a big fan of this story. On the next episode of Kenny's show, I'm sure he'll just give us a recap of this storyline.
The full details. I would take a Thor though. I would take that Thor if it had hair like that, because it would make quite a good action figure. It's just a very
we will be
very
talking
nice
about
design.
Thor, don't you worry. The comments say Mikey Moonboots is a fan of the art. Compulsive Collector says even discussing this is a 2-pack in a meeting is crazy. Putting it into production, absolute madness. Do you reckon this is a Jesse Falcon special? Is this a thing that Jesse Falcon's gone, oh, I quite like this, make this happen?
It wouldn't surprise me. The man has gained a reputation from the was the Galactus Doctor Doom head of Jesse Falcon special, and then the Crystar has also gone into there. We've now had a whole discussion about eyebrows, no eyebrows, but no absorbing arms. So I think it may have been could be a Jesse Falcon special. Yes, I would not be arguing with that point at all.
He looks like he's a contestant in the Running Man, as in like the Arnold Schwarzenegger style Running Man. I know
that's a good film.
Watch that instead of reading thingy. I like his head sculpt though, to be fair, and because it's a Quicksilver head, like you should be able to use these on any of your previous Quicksilvers. So there's a little caveat for you if you wanted a more expressive Quicksilver. Like, to be fair, I think the action figures actually look better than the art. Do you know, like aesthetically, look at the art and they're a bit like, I don't know, a little bit dramatic. I don't know what it is about the art. I'm just not a big fan of it. But the action figures look okay. Like the action figures, like that looks like Black Widow. Do you know? She's on the Black Widow body as well, as she should be. It does seem that way. Is she? Yeah, I think so. Let me get the actual. Let me get the actual.
The head looks pretty similar to the previous ones we had. The hair sculpt looks slightly. The hair sculpt looks a bit weird there at the front, where your fringe is. You can very clearly see the sculpting line where they put a separate piece on for the head. So that looks very awkward from that particular angle.
I'm trying to see if I've got the actual images. I don't know if. No, I don't think I have. I think this is the only set that they haven't sent the images over, so we're stuck with what was on screen.
They were that embarrassed at themselves. They didn't even send the press images.
Yeah, I do not have the press images for this set.
I got money in
Eric,
the bank.
Unlock the after show as well.
Aaron Bennett donated $4.99. The best thing about the crossing is how Kurt Busiek fixes it in Avengers Forever.
Thank you very much, first and foremost, because we have now unlocked the bonus show, so we've got that to look forward to. And Eric says the best thing about the crossing is how Kirk Busiek, is that how you say it? Fixes it in Avengers Forever. Oh, okay, so the consequences of the crossing get changed anyway. Okay, well, I haven't read it, and I don't think. I always say I would, but maybe I won't. I don't know. I trust Rich. Rich tells me don't waste my time.
You've been told it's terrible writing, and you've made it very clear you don't like the art. So it's not going to have a lot going for it, this story.
Yeah, I'm just throwing up some images from the book. So here's Black Widow on the back. She does have some more red. It's not really a spoiler as such, is it? But that's her costume in the story. I've got some double pages spreads here because Beast was in this Avengers team. So I thought I was leaning to like it a little bit because there's my man Hank in the Avengers team. I think something happened outside the mansion. Look, there's Jarvis. Still need a Marvel Legends Jarvis. So if this is how we get a Marvel Legends Jarvis in a 2-pack for the crossing, do you know what? I'll allow it. Yeah, there's some interesting characters here. Is that Hellcat? It looks like Hellcat. It probably isn't Hellcat. Who's that? That's Scarlet Witch. Who's that guy in the white and blue?
I have no idea who's in the white.
Who's in the white and blue?
He's got a jacket on.
Obviously Vision, Beast, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch. It's probably not how. It's Crystal. It's Crystal, isn't it? Of course it fucking is. Fucking idiot. So Rich just confirmed it. It come to me, Rich, before I looked at your comment. I promise. That's US Agent. Okay, did not know that. That's John Walker. Did not know that. Avengers
some
Assemble.
fantastic costumes.
Yeah.
So.
Breaking news: Mattel have turtles. Well, we guessed it, didn't we? We guessed it. Hasbro let it slip from under them. Hasbro wanted it. They couldn't get it. So Mattel got it. Bravo to Mattel. We'll be talking about that on a future stream, but we'll keep the conversation Marvel for now. But yes, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by that. Okay. Mattel, I've got some interesting licenses moving forward. That's for damn sure. What other image? I've got one more image from the crossing for you, just to give people an example of the art that's in the book. There you go. There's another look. So there you go. Are you a fan of the art, Jay? Do you like it?
No, I've gone on record saying Mr. McFarlane is my favourite artist, and they go a bit crazier in the 90s. You've got that Liefeld art that starts to come in, and then they go like even next level on that a bit later. So I don't mind some of it, but it almost later in the 90s it almost goes like digital art. I prefer like the hand drawn style. So no, it's not really my favourite thing in the world, but. They would make fun-looking figure costumes, I suppose. So, but nobody knows what they are. No, they do. They don't like it. So they'll probably get this one on a discount.
Look at the box as well. Like this screams Amazon 2-pack with a head each and a set of hands each. That's it. It's like a very I think from a Hasbro perspective,
Resident 2-pack.
Yeah, they've got to put some cheap 2-packs together. Like it just happens throughout the year. Like they've got to find some figures that ain't too expensive to tool up, a quick repaint of a body that already exists, and I think that's exactly what this Avengers crossing is. It's Avengers characters that exist. They can brand it as Avengers, which everybody is familiar with, and just give it very bare bones. So it's not a very exciting 2-pack for me personally. If you are a big fan of this story from 1995, then I'm sure you'll be very happy to get some character designs that represent the source material that you like, but it's just no attachment for me. So yeah, I'm not going to hate on it by any means, but it's just not for me. It's not my Black Widow. It's not my but the figures look good for what they're meant to be. So like, I'm not complaining on that. Is Quicksilver from Marvel or DC? Both, right? There's a Quicksilver in both, but he's from Marvel. Quicksilver's Marvel.
I was just saying, is it from Marvel versus DC crossovers?
Oh,
the way I was reading
is it that look? Is that what he's saying? Oh, yes.
I'm
Richard's saying yes.
So.
Richard's saying yes. Sorry, I misread. Richard, I apologise. I misread your question. I thought it was just a very generic, is it Marvel versus DC? Because somebody just mentioned Mattel. So DC was on my brain. Oh, okay. No, the Marvel versus DC crossover had these looks from the 90s. Okay, so there's another reason. If you're not a fan of the crossing story, maybe people can take these looks or these action figures, and maybe this was a plan from Hasbro all along. They know there's going to be action figures. Yeah, they know
from Mattel, same scale.
Yeah. So Hasbro got word that DC are going to be making figures in the same scale as Marvel Legends, and they're like, all right, we'll give you some accompanying pieces to make some more accurate displays. Okay, there you go, people. Maybe we can do a stream on that in the future of what characters from the Marvel DC crossovers have action figures and stuff. That's a future stream. I'll make a mental note of that. All right, John Morrissey, get ready, because that's an interesting topic for sure. But there we go. There's your 2-pack. Yeah, that is a bare bones Amazon 2-pack I've seen all day. Did they actually announce where this is going? Let me check the list.
Yeah, it was on the graphic.
It fucking is an Amazon 2-pack. I fucking knew it. See, I genuinely didn't know that. Just looking at this pack, my brain went, that's a fucking Amazon pack all day long. It absolutely is. This is an Amazon exclusive, people. So it will probably end up on Fan Channel as well.
What are they doing to Amazon? They used to get these 5-packs. Now they're getting all these things that go on discount. Right?
Amazon don't want the box sets anymore, which is unfortunate for us because we don't get those bigger box sets. They like a 2-pack. They love a 2-pack, and they like 2-packs with names that are like universal. Like that Iron Man 2-pack with Mandarin was branded Iron Man. This is branded Avengers. Do you know everyone knows the Avengers? There's an Avengers movie this year, so I get the collaboration between Hasbro and Amazon here. Like, Compulsive Collector says, tune in to Legends and Liquor 1 year from now, and we'll look into my crystal ball and predict what big licenses Mattel will announce in 2028. That's true. Like, John has been bang on with what Mattel. I think he secretly works for Mattel. He's basically, and he's just feeding us the information a little bit early under the disguise of Compulsive Collector. Yeah, bravo, John, bravo. Right, what's next? Let me just go to my listing here. So that's it. Okay. Next up was the Deluxe.
Oh, I know.
So there we go. That was what was shown. There we are. Moving on. No, I'm only joking. It was, of course, the oversized Deluxe Onslaught. Now, Onslaught came out a decade ago in 2016, and it was a Build-A-Figure, but it wasn't an Onslaught Build-A-Figure. It was like red Onslaught Build-A-Figure because it had the Red Skull head. You had to wait a whole year to get, I think it was about a year, to get Kitty Pryde from the X-Men wave to get the actual Onslaught head to make your Build-A-Figure Onslaught. So if you are a relatively new collector, you may not be familiar with that rigmarole, and you may not have even bothered getting Onslaught. Or maybe you did know and you went and got two. Trade Toy Collection UK. But if you didn't get Onslaught, this is just another one of those Marvel Legends reissuing an old Build-A-Figure as a single release, which, again, it is what it is at this point. I'm not mad at it. If you want it to get an upgrade with a slight redeco, have at it. For me, it's on the retro card, so I'm always a sucker for the oversized retro card. And we've had one other X-Men oversized retro card, which was, Jay?
Apocalypse,
correct. So this is the second oversized X-Men
which
retro
I wish
card.
I didn't open, but I did, because they've now replaced that with the made-to-order one, so that was another...
I have it on card, so I will buy this to accompany it and just have it as a tribute on the oversized card. Or maybe I like the redeco. It does look... It looks a little bit darker. Let me go through these images here.
Yeah, it's darker purple, isn't it? Yeah. Shinier red, darker purple, and a shiny helmet.
It's still got the pins. Like if we do a little enhance, he's still got the pins on the arms, and he's still got the single jointed elbows. So, and the shoulder pad doesn't seem to be different at all, and he still has the sort of back piece as well. So I don't think it is any different structurally or aesthetically. The only difference is the deco. Like it's a darker deco for red and purple, but the actual build is genuinely the Build-A-Figure. Is there any accessories in that box? No accessories. Okay,
because the Build-A-Figure didn't come, and then they'd have to tool new hands. So.
That's true. That's very true. So they didn't want to give you anything new. They just wanted to give you a little repaint and put it in a retro card box. So for me, when they redo figures, it's more interesting for me to put them on the retro card, because for me, like that's a nice tribute to something that I like. Do you know what I mean? Like I like the retro card. So if you're going to give me a character I've already got, put it in a format that it hasn't been released in. Do you know? So again, not the most exciting of things for me, because I'm holding this one in my hand. And you, Jay, tell us your story, because you said you got two of these, so you're not happy to see this?
No, I'm not happy to see this. So I had the one for many a years, and just displayed him as Onslaught. And then many years later, I thought, well, I probably should display that red Onslaught. I bought the graphic novel to go with the red Onslaught story. So I thought, okay, I'll get a red Onslaught and put it on a different shelf. So I tried to backtrack all the pieces to make another one, which I eventually did. They wasn't the most expensive Build-A-Figure at the time, and I was going, okay, well, I've got two now, happy enough with two. And I decided a few months ago, actually, no, I probably don't need two, so I'll sell one. Nobody bought the thing. I'm definitely not going to buy the thing, because here comes a shiny new one, but it's not a shiny new one. It is just a repaint, but it is for the collector that doesn't have the previous version. But as somebody that now has two of the things, I don't need a third of the same thing. What I really would have liked is the other version of Onslaught, the version that Toy Biz did. That's the version of Onslaught I want. And this kind of makes me think I'm even further away from getting that one, which is why I don't like this one.
I'm trying to just show people a comparison here side by side, so you can literally see there is no difference in the torso, there's no difference in the sculpt, there's no difference in articulation. The only difference is in the deco, as it seems like all of the little discs are a little different. They're like a hint of blue on the re-release, and on the original here it's just the same purple plastic. So yeah, so it's basically this thing. If you've got the Build-A-Figure, you don't need this. It is just literally, it's there if you want it. It's completely up to you. Don't have to be mad at it. You don't have to buy it. But if you're like me and you're a sucker for the retro cards, because bloody nostalgia. Damn you, nostalgia. Nostalgia is so expensive, Jay. I don't know what it is about it. But there you go. So that is the Onslaught.
Telling me.
Long rumoured. So let me get the promo images up for Onslaught. Not because we need a closer look at Onslaught to say. I want a closer look at his packaging again, just to remind the people what we're looking at.
Thought you wanted a closer look at his package there. Yeah. A package that was revealed in a hotel room.
Let's click here. Let's go to this one. Yeah, let's do that. Let's zoom in there. Can I enhance? There we go. That will do. Let me throw that over to this screen. And oh, I've enhanced too much enhancing. There we go. So this is the Onslaught packaging. So it's got Emma Frost in her diamond form, which we already have. I did reveal it in a hotel room, but then I was embargoed. So even though I had the information before everyone else, I couldn't post it until we revealed it on the panel. But yes, I had the information first. Anyway, there she is. And there's Onslaught. And there's Doug Ramsey and Cannonball. So we are absolutely getting Doug Ramsey and Cannonball. Dan's already said we're going to get one more New Mutants. He did say one more. He didn't say more, he said one more, which makes me think they're going to be packed in together. Time will tell. Maybe as early as Toy Fair. Maybe this weekend they just reveal everything. They're not idiots. Dan Yu knows that we know these figures are coming. Like they showed the packaging off on the stream. They don't acknowledge it, but they show it.
I'd assume they'd wait because aren't these the continuation of the Target exclusive program, and it's one every quarter, isn't it? So you're gonna you're gonna string this one out to at least May, probably.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't think we will get them revealed at New York, but there's no need to because we know it's coming. Like I'd rather them show something at New York we didn't know about because we can just be patient and wait for this release because we know it's coming. Jay says it could be it could be worse, and the Tron figures are embargoed forever. That's true. You're never seeing those 6-inch Tron figures. Right, next up, there you go. Only at Target. I know Americans are not happy about that, and I sympathise. But we're in the UK and we don't have Target, so we can only share our collector experience with you, and this is just available in all the places we buy our Marvel Legends. So I don't have that same disdain, but I sympathise with my American friends. I really do. Next up, now Jay. He was a bit of a tease, right? He teased me, right? Dan started talking about X-Men 97. He started saying this character's needed or whatever, put his hands under the desk, and I was like, right, let's kick off the year with my boy Beast. Mondo have just showed off an epic version of Beast that we will have a little, we can look at that really quickly before we end the stream, Jay. We can have a little look at Beast. But Mondo just revealed an epic looking X-Men Beast, and I thought, Hasbro, come on, show us yours as well. Let's just have a week of Beast reveals. And then no, it was Archangel. Now, I'm not mad at Archangel by any means. No shade on Archangel. But, like, don't tease us like that, Dan. Come on, we are waiting for Beast here. And you give us Archangel. He is a tease. He is teasing us. Why are they delaying Beast? I asked Rich yesterday. I was like, do you reckon they'll show 97 Beast? And Rich said to me, they'll save 97 Beast until closer to the new season of the show. And I agreed. I was like, no, that makes sense. Wait until the show. So I had in my mind there was not showing any X-Men 97 today. But then they go ahead and show one anyway, and it's not fucking Beast. Ah, you bastards. Dan Yoon, if you're watching, that's out of order, Dan. That's out of order.
It's a tease of what box Beast will probably be in, because I don't think we've seen a deluxe box, have we, in the X-Men 97? So there's your packaging.
Here's my guess, right?
So it's Beast in a way.
Yeah, here's my guess, right? So we got 3 2-packs, right? So when they showed a new box release format, we got 3 of them, okay? So we've got the 3 waves, we've got 3 2-packs, and now they've showed this deluxe style box. So I'm going to put a prediction that we're going to get 3 of these. One of them's going to be Bastion, and one of them's going to be Beast, and they will be the 3 deluxes. Now that's just a guess. Who knows? But we do need Beast and Bastion. And to do the characters justice, a deluxe offering with more accessories would make a lot more sense. Although I want Beast on a retro card for my own nostalgia and my own sort of pet peeve of completing a team on the same card format. But that's just me. I'm sure the general consensus will be very happy to see Beast in any format. So yes, I do think it is inevitable. Just like Thanos, we are going to get Beast on a bloody deluxe. Possible breaking news from Paterno Metal has DMNT. Tanner's clearly not been watching the stream and has just been exposed. We know you weren't watching, Tanner.
I'll give him a list again.
Put him on his list. Put him on the list, because Tanner was clearly watching the football and not watching this stream. He's just been exposed in front of over 200 people, Tanner. You've just been exposed because Phil told us this about 10 minutes ago. He was watching Spurs. See, I told you. I knew it. It's fine. What's the Man U score? What's the Chelsea score? Keep me updated. Be useful, Tanner. Be useful. Give us news I don't know. But we will talk, Tanner. That's worthy of conversation. Shout out to my co-host from Turtles and Tea. But back to Archangel here. I like it. Not mad at it. Again, we needed a new version of Archangel. We've got a couple of versions of Angel now, so we knew we were going to get this eventually, and here it is. Randomly, they packed in his big gun. I don't associate the big gun with Angel. Is it? Does he use it in the animated series? Is it a comic reference?
Is he even in X-Men '97? Have I completely forgotten? Like, he's all over the '92 show, but I don't recall him in '97. Yes, I've forgotten the scene. And this is one of those figures where I've just literally said the same thing again, because I've already bought multiple Angels over the year. And the first one I bought when I got really back deep into Marvel Legends, the original one from like the Return of Marvel Legends wave, was really expensive. It was like, I think I paid something like stupid, like 80 quid for an Angel, just so I could have an Archangel on the shelf. And then they eventually do an upgraded, better version later, and now they're doing it again. So I keep having to buy Archangels. I don't really want to buy another Archangel. So at this point in the stream, I was getting a little stroppy, but I do like the little tuning fork, as they were describing it, the smaller wing accessory that I thought was new. Maybe it's been on another one and I've completely forgotten, but I thought was actually new. I've seen people. The little backpack.
Oh,
piece,
it is new.
Brand new.
One. Yeah, brand new. Yeah. We've never had. So I really appreciate that. Like, we've got loads of third-party versions of that. People were 3D printing them, and you can buy them on eBay. Yeah. So yeah, we've never had a Marvel Legends version of the compact wings. So that is an appreciated accessory that I would like in my collection, because we can now use that on any versions of Archangel, I assume. So yeah, I'm appreciative of that little accessory. Again, I don't know what the gun's in reference to. Maybe they just had some extra money in the budget. Maybe that should have went with cable. Maybe you can use it with your cable. Who knows? But it's a big gun. West Ham are winning. Oh my God, I can't believe it. That man's never getting a haircut. That's going to go on forever, Jay. It's going on forever. He does look good though. Completely pinless.
I'm trying to have a haircut tonight, but the clippers broke, so that didn't go well.
Are they sculpted? I'm trying to think. Are the pink lines on him sculpted? Are they risen, or are they just painted?
They're just painted.
No, you're right. They're just painted. Hasbro, they're not going to. Yeah, they're just painted. Ignore me. Ignore me. I give them far too much credit. Yeah, they're just painted.
Are they saying that he's more going to be in season 2, or because we actually need this for an X-Men '97 display? Are they trying to put me in here for a figure I don't really need? But I like Archangel. I want Mondo to make this thing.
A comic display. Like the animated designs are taken from the comics. It's different.
I've got a comic display full of blooming Archangels. I don't need another one.
The wings are different. I think Virtual Dave in the chat are saying the wings different. Yes, the wings are different, but I was referring to the character Archangel, as we've already had. We've had a couple. We've had 3 Angel Deluxes now, 1 a year for the last 3 years. 2024, we got regular Angel in the red halo feathered wings. 2025, we got Archangel in the X-Force uniform. 2026, we get a Deluxe Angel in the blue. So every year we get a Deluxe Angel. This is just this year's offering, and he looks good. What heads does he come with? He comes with, is that an angry, regular? Let's have a little zoom. Enhance. Oh, I can't enhance that much. It seems like an angry, grimacing head. And a regular head. Yeah, there we go. Angry, regular. Open palm hands, fist hands. Yeah, there we go.
John says, yes, I need it. And as a man in the know, the Nostradamus of the chat there, I will take that. This is going to be very important, and I will have this figure. So another Archangel to add to the growing list of women Archangels in this house.
Yeah, yeah, John, do you know this week's lottery numbers, by the way? If you do, just feel free to share. Feel free to share. We'd appreciate it. At this point, you could just guess. You could bash the keyboard 6 numbers and they would probably be correct, all right? Do that, John. Bash the keyboard. Dan's will come with a missing red paint. Yeah, St. James is not wrong. Mine's going to come with missing paint on his toes, and I'm not even going to notice. And my review will just have tons of comments telling me I'm missing paint. Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. But yeah, I like that. I appreciate that little tiny accessory. But there you go. So it wasn't Beast, but we did get an X-Men 97 release. I like it. Look, this is fair game. Unlike the MCU, where the MCU designs are very like heavily textured and like you can't really, and the aesthetic and the colours don't really fit into a comic display. The animated shows are different. The animated shows like are pulled directly from the comics, even more so than the live action stuff. The live action stuff takes liberties and does redesigns. The animated stuff is usually direct replicants of the comic. So for me, you can put this on a comic display. No one's going to challenge it. Absolutely an upgrade compared to the old version. My old version is actually not front and center. It was at the back of my display, and he's got those terrible foldy wings. Do you know, like, so these wings look a lot more fun, a bit more dynamic, and I appreciate the downward wings as well. My only thing about this set is why the gun? What's the reference to the gun? Does he use a gun in the second season? Is this a spoiler? Who knows? Who knows?
It's like a big gun that would suck your mutant powers or something. It looks like it's going to do something.
We can use our imagination. It can do whatever you want it to do, all right, people? You can do whatever you want it to do. But there we go. Deluxe Angel. And when does that one release? Does it tell us? Does he tell us? He does. It's a fan channel, 25th of March. There you go, 25th of March. And I quite like seeing this because we're nowhere near to knowing the release date of X-Men Season 2 yet. Like, we don't know. They've not announced what the date is yet. And they're releasing figures associated with that property. So maybe we will see more sprinkled out throughout the year, even if we're not close to the animated show. Because we know it's coming, but we just don't know when yet. So, come on, Beast. Do you reckon they show Beast at New York Toy Fair this weekend?
No.
Oh, wow, you've just ruined that hype for me, Jen. Never mind.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, next up, we're going to the main event. All right, so let me get the proper fancy promo images for this one. So this is the main event. So first, let's do a little history lesson. All right, shall we do a little history lesson for the people of Marvel
maximum
Legends?
History lesson, if you will. Is this, or is this
of Thor? So let me get my graphics up. I come prepared. I come prepared. All right. So let me cast your mind back. Let me close some tabs as well so I don't crash my computer. Close.
How far are we going? The Return of Marvel Legends? Or are we going
We're
earlier?
Return of Marvel Legends, all right? So let's go back. The year is 2011. So how many years ago was that, Jay?
15.
15 years ago, okay? The Return of Marvel Legends. And there was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, which was Thor. And it was packaged as a hammer, which was a pretty good packaging. Like, I'm not going to lie, bravo. Nice little pack in here. You'll remember that logo with the Return of Marvel Legends. We now fondly refer to it as the dark days of Hasbro, but because they were carrying over a lot of the sculpts and molds from Toy Biz at that time. So it took a while for the Toy Biz aesthetic to sort of fade away, but it lingered for a little bit. So Return of Marvel Legends or the dark days of Hasbro, whatever you want to refer it to, it started with this Thor. And we also got this Thor, or the version of this outfit of Thor, a couple of times. Now, this Thor design is based off... Now, I've been trying to pronounce this artist's name. It's Olivier Couplet? Olivier Couplet? Am I saying that right?
Couplet?
I'll put it in the chat, all right? That's the artist anyway. Rich told me. I've been trying to practice pronouncing it, but you know I'm terrible at that type of stuff. But there you go. So this is from 2007, where Thor returned to the Marvel Comics sort of after the events of Ragnarok, after the events of Secret Wars, all right? So this is 2007 Thor design, okay? So that is him in the comics, 2007. And what year did the MCU Thor come out, Jay? So live action Thor, what year did that movie come out?
2011?
Yeah,
2010?
bang on, yeah. So the MCU's Thor design is based off this version of Thor because this was the predominant Thor look in the comics at the time. So this Thor debuted in 2007 in The Return of Thor. And then the MCU took inspiration from this look into live action. And then obviously Marvel Legends, in the same year Thor came out, released this Marvel Legend. But this wasn't the first time Hasbro released Thor in this particular style. Can you remember the other times, Jay?
Well, I have the other one.
Okay, so where did you buy it from? Where did you get it from?
eBay.
Okay, so what packaging was it in?
It was in the well, what I call the Return of Marvel Legends package, and
Epic Heroes.
We had a wave of that thing. That's the thing. Yeah, with, like we had Deadpool and things and that thing. Yeah.
So this one, the design's obviously slightly different to this one, but we also got this again.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember where?
Again. Well, I have that one, and it doesn't stand up on my shelf. It's kind of it's been leaning for well over 10 years.
He's hefty. He's chunky. Yeah.
Did they do it again?
They did it again. Yeah. Where did they do it?
Where did they do it? I do not remember where they did it again.
Disney Store exclusive 5-pack. So we have actually got this version of Thor. Okay. So let me close these tabs. Right. So this 2007 modern version of Thor, we have got, it's referred to as the modern Thor, but let's be honest, 2007 is nearly 2 decades ago, okay? So it's funny that we go, oh, it's the modern Thor.
Oh, we're old.
20 years ago, all right? 20 years ago, this Thor design debuted. But we have had it several times in the Marvel Legends line. Let me just throw some other comic reference up for you, just to have another little look at him. There he is. There he is. Here's the front cover for the first issue of Thor as well. Here he is in it with a spinny effect. There he is as well. So that is your modern design of Thor, all right? So when they were doing Maximum, Jay, they had to decide between this or a more classic Thor, okay? So I threw this up. What would you have chose? Would you have gone for the sort of mind's eye Jack Kirby classic Thor, or do you like this modern design? Like, which version would you have liked to see in a Maximum?
Well, this is where at the very start of the stream you asked me my general feelings today, and I was like, it's a bit mixed. And this is why, because for me this is the wrong choice. I was after that classic Kirby Thor with, we were hoping, the bendy wire cape. I'm not a massive fan of this more modern 20-year-old design. The figures annoyed me for quite a long time, flopping about on the shelf. It's not my favorite design. There's too much chainmail for me. I like a more naked for a classic for Kirby era, bright colors. I was really hoping it was going to be that, so it wasn't. So I was a little bit now. They'd already got me with the Onslaught. I was going down a bit. Oh, I don't need that. Then I need another Archangel, and then they hit me. Oh, here we go, Maximum 4. Oh, they went for that one. So me, little bit stroppy. Let
me start a poll, all right? I'm gonna end the poll we've currently got up. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about Maximum 4 in a moment. I just wanted to get like a general conversation about 4 started, because it's been a while since we've got a main looking Thor, and it's been even longer since we got this look of Thor. But is it the look people wanted? We can discuss. I'm going to end the poll. Over 250 votes on the poll. 44% of you say the Secret Wars Wave 2 was your favourite reveal today. 28% say the Maximum 4 that we're about to discuss. 6% say the Deluxe Onslaught. 22% say something else, which is probably the Avengers, the Crossing 2-pack. Big fans out there, big fans. Right, so I'm ending that poll, and I'm going to start a new poll that says, which Thor did you want? Okay, so which Thor did you want as Max? Classic, and then should we just say modern, because even though it's 20 years old, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Modern, right? So I'm asking you the question, all right? So now if you're here live, get involved. Let your voice be heard. Which version of Thor did you want? Maximum or classic, all right? Because we just got a deluxe, not even a deluxe, a Maximum Thor. But was it the one you wanted? Jay,
yes,
I'm pleasantly surprised. I really like it. I really like the modern look. So let's go through the images, shall we? Shall I go through what Hasbro did first? Let me go through what Hasbro did first.
I think it will be close in the poll. I've seen a load of comments throughout the afternoon, like really, as I said, like yourself, really pleased with this actual design. So it is. We will see.
I think the
poll is closed at the moment.
I think this is really nice looking. Now, granted, the magic thing about comic books is that there are so many different artists, so many different eras. Everybody has their favourite frame of reference. So I completely appreciate if this isn't your favourite version of Thor. That's absolutely fine. I still really like it. Like, it's not even my mind's eye of Thor to say. Like, this is more of my mind's eye of the MCU looking Thor. I would say my mind's eye of comic Thor is the classic Jack Kirby style. So I think if you had asked me this question yesterday, I would have probably leaned more towards the classic Thor. But after seeing this today, I'm really glad they went in this direction, because this is a massive upgrade compared to any of these versions of that Thor. So you've got the two lightning effects. Are they the same lightning effects that we have got with Electro and Storm?
That's what I was literally wondering. I've got Electro's ones over here. So
I don't know. They look similar, but I think everything in this pack is new. I genuinely don't think there's any reuse. Let's have a look, Jay. Let's say, is it?
No, it is the same. You've got the curvy, if I hold it, the curvy top. I hold it that way.
Yeah, right. There you go. Bang
curvy
on. That's the top one.
And sticky out. Yeah, that's the top one.
That's the top one. Okay, so they're reused. We're allowed that, okay? Lightning effects, they do the job. We're allowed that. But I do think in regards to the body, it is all new, which maximums should be. Again, maximum has been a swear word. Let's be honest. The maximum line did not get off to a good start. Is this where they course correct? Now, again, this is a subjective topic. I'm not telling you how to feel. This isn't a conversation about value at the moment. Let's just talk about the action figure on display here. The value and the cost is a different conversation. We don't know yet. They've not put a price up. But let's just take a look at the action figure. I like it. And soft goods cape with bendy wire for the very first time in the Marvel Legends line. Now that in itself is a big deal, because it's a change from the Marvel Legends aesthetic that we have known for over 20 years. Now, is it the direction that the general community want us to go? I think it is. I do think more people are going to be happy with the bendy wire cape than not, but I still think there will be a portion of collectors, shout out Compulsive Collector, that don't like the soft goods on the plastic action figures at this scale. It works better maybe at a different scale, soft goods, but at the 1/12 scale doesn't quite work. Now, I would usually agree with that, especially with action figures like Mezco, where I always think it looks like action figures are wearing their dad's clothes, or they always look baggy. I just don't like Mezco looking figures. But I do think with capes is a different story, as it's just an added point, like to accentuate, I don't know what the right word I'm trying to say is, to sort of add that dynamic element, that flair to
you just say quoi? There you are.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yes. So it's like, it's not taking anything away from the sculpt, the design, or anything like that. It's just adding to the display ability and the dynamic poses you can get that a plastic cape you just can't do. Like a plastic cape that's just lying flat just looks bland and boring. So this will give you a lot more display ability and posing options, which I think people will appreciate, including myself. I don't mind a soft goods cape. I don't want soft goods clothes on my Marvel Legends, right? I don't want them wearing their dad's clothes. I don't want jumpsuits. Keep that on the Mayfek scale. For Marvel Legends, let's keep the plastic bodies, but I don't mind a soft goods cape with the bendy wire. So I would have liked it even more if we had the option, maybe to pack in like an alternative cape option so people could make their preference. But I do think Hasbro made the right decision here by going with the soft goods, because this is what the general consensus, if you had to poll the audience, I think most of them would have went, if it's Maximum Thor has to have a soft goods cape with a bendy wire. And we spoke about this on Legends and Liquor. Don't give us a soft goods cape if it's not got the bendy wire. It's pointless. It's futile. There is no point. If you're going to give us the soft goods cape, it has to have the bendy wire. So credit where's credit's due. Are they listening? Are they making the changes that the community are pushing? I hope so. Maybe our voices are being heard. I quite like it. I also like the head sculpts. I like that we've got 3 different face plates and the 2 different hairs. So you can have the helmet across any of the face plates or the regular hair across the different heads. I quite like that as well. And then we've got the different hands. I like how the hammer is sculpted onto one of the hands. So it's just like it can stay straight, because some of my Thors on display, he's getting on. He's getting on. He needs his blue chew. Do you know, it's a bit droopy. Do you know what I mean? So I don't mind the sculpted hammer. We still get a regular hammer, and the hammer that is the sheath for the hammer that doesn't have it attached, that is accurate to this version of Thor as well. If you read that Thor run, he has the stick in his back and he pulls it out and the hammer appears. So again, that is another accurate trait to this comic reference of Thor. So I like all of that. And then as added bonus, you get Frog as well, which is also a variant cover from this run right there. There he is. So
it's the exact pose.
Yeah, literally that is the reference they have pulled for this figure. It's a variant cover from this particular comic run. So Jay, your thoughts on Thor? I know you would have preferred the other costume, but now you have this. Do you like it?
Yes, I like the figure. I like the fact we are transcending into soft goods wide capes. I think that is a good decision. I personally do like the Mafex style of figures. Some of them, yeah, it does come across a bit pajama-y, but a lot of them I think it actually does tailor quite well. So I'm quite into my soft goods capes. Mafex have been doing them for quite a while. It looks a better quality material than McFarlane. He has times put in the bendy wire in the cape, but it does look a slightly thicker material than they would use as well. So I think that looks good. It is a massive upgrade on the figure that we've had previously. All new sculpt. You've got all your hair bits. I've seen a few complaints of there's no spinning effect, and I was thinking, oh, that's because they've done it before. That they'll put no reuse in here. That's why I thought all the lightning effects must be new. But now we've actually found out they're not new. I'm a bit concerned why they haven't put in the spinning effect with that one if they are going to reuse some previous pieces. But the figure itself, I think, looks really good. You've got a horn. You want a bit of horn blowing there. Have a separate horn as well in there.
A frost giant, right? A frost giant.
Give it I'm not particularly sure on this run, but
I think it's a
Horatio Hornblower in 4 forms. So will I end up buying it? Yes, I probably will end up buying it, but it's not the design, as you said, I would have chosen, which just makes me think, for the Maximum, if they were trying to save this Maximum line in our eyes, it just seemed a bit of an odd choice not to go classic. Just I would think the majority would want classic, and then going modern would put a lot of people off. But looking at the poll in the chat, though, it is 60-40 for classic, so it is very close, actually. So maybe I have misjudged the whole audience there on the difference between classic and modern. But yeah, for the upgrade of what it is, it's a really good figure. But then you've got your usual issues with Maximum being price point, etc. And is the new body and the cape worth the extra 30 quid you're going to end up paying for this thing? But it does look a nice action figure, purely in action figure form.
Rich makes a good point. Is the cape tax going to be more than the rubber chest tax with Hulk? Time will tell. Again, they did not announce the price. If they announced the price, we would talk about it and we would rightly criticize it if it is high. Again, they are branding this as Maximum. They are the ones that are branding the Maximum series as the pinnacle, as the best version of this character available in the Marvel Legends line. So it is up for scrutiny just via their own branding and marketing of the Maximum series. It's their own doing. But I like this Thor. I do think the price will be, well, regardless, like, you could argue all day long, should this been the classic or not? That's irrelevant. In regards to looking at this subjectively as an action figure, it is down to people's own personal preferences. Like, do you like soft goods? If you don't, you're not going to like this due to your own personal tastes. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that this is a bad figure. It's just your tastes do not align with this figure. I do think the bigger questions will appear when the price announces, because that Spider-Man Maximum series is probably the best Spider-Man Marvel Legend we have. But all of that got lost in the conversation about the price. So is that going to happen with this Thor, where it's a great Thor action figure, but it's going to get lost in the controversy of the price? Now, the price is the
problem
price.
with Maximum, isn't it? Because it will.
Yeah, people moan at me when I don't scream and shout like other people about prices and stuff. I just try not to complain about stuff I can't control. Like, the reality is, a couple of grown men on YouTube talking about whether they like or don't like something isn't really going to influence anything in the scale that people think it is. So, like, I'd rather focus on the elements I do like, and I do like this Thor, and I hope it is at a reasonable price point where people feel the value, but time will tell on that one. I do appreciate the input of Throg as well, technically another character to add to the shelf. Again, I know it's a tiny pack in, but it's those little things that just make me smile. Again, toys are allowed to be fun. It's a Throg. This Thor is a Throg. Thor as a Throg, people, for God's sake. So for a classic, not a classic version, a modern version of Thor, I think this is a great figure. And for me, like, for now, for the time being, Jay, this is my Thors on the shelf, okay? So we've got the 80th anniversary version. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. The chat can correct me if I'm wrong. As we currently stand, the best representation of classic Jack Kirby Thor we have in the Marvel Legends line right now, not over lines, I'm talking Marvel Legends, is this 80th anniversary Thor. And then the best representation we have of this modern version of Thor, I say modern, but 2007, you know what I mean, is now this Maximum Thor. So in my mind, as trying to figure out which Thors I want in my collection, I've got a nice modern Thor. Now, 2007 is the same era of like, I think it's like the Extremis armor. Do you know, like, so this modern Thor can pair up with some of the other Marvel Legends that we have, and you can build a very nice modern looking Avengers team now, all pinless. Just think of who else we got on the shelf. We've got multiple pinless Captain Americas at the moment, whether you use the 20th anniversary version, an Extremis Iron Man armor, and now you use this, you can create a very nice modern sort of trinity of the Avengers characters, and then accompany them with other characters like Black Widow and Giant Man and Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and Wasp 2-pack. You know, like, I think we can build a very nice modern updated Avengers team, and this 4 is a beautiful sort of upgrade. And then for the classic, for right now, this is the best. Granted, that's 6 years old now. Just think that's from 2020. So we are due an upgrade of the Jack Kirby Thor as well.
So heavy, it always falls over, is what I find. Which is, I was really hoping this was the more classic look to stop the thing falling over, because whatever Thor I have on display just falls over.
So for now, in my mind and in my display, I've got the classic Jack Kirby Thor is the 80th anniversary version. Again, it needs upgrading. Granted, it's not even pinless, but for now, it's the best representation we have of classic Thor. And then this new Maximum Thor is a much better version. Like, that new Maximum Thor is much better. Like, not just a little bit better, much better than any of the previous offerings. If you look at those previous offerings, no interchangeable heads, no effect pieces, no interchangeable hands. Do you know, like, this new offering, no bendy wire cape or anything like that. This new offering is much better than any of the previous ones. Do not kid yourself, it isn't. But the debate will, again, continue whether you wanted classic or not. It would have been great, right? It would have been great if, again, this is stuff that would never happen. But if they're like, right, we've done Maximum Thor, and there's 2 versions where it's like similar accessories, similar sort of pack layout, but it's classic look and modern look. That would have been interesting to see. Again, that's not the type of stuff that happens, but again, that would have been fun to see. And then it would have pleased everybody, because I think the only criticisms people are going to have of this Thor, again, not talking about the price, that's a whole different conversation, just looking at the action figure, the biggest criticism will be it's not the classic look I wanted. But that doesn't take away from this being a great version of the source material it's supposed to represent. And people always get that confused. People are like, oh, it's not the Thor I wanted, it's terrible. No, 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 no. It's terrible from your own perspective. Looking at this subjectively as a representation of the Thor it's meant to represent, I reckon it's done a great job. I reckon it looks great. Do you challenge any of that, Jay?
No, I think the figure does look really good. Is it the best looking Maximum figure we've had so far? I like the Spidey. I like the look of the Spidey. It probably is.
That's a good question.
In terms of...
we haven't got it in hand yet, so it's always unfair to judge things without we getting them in hand. But that is a good question, Jay. So let's ask that to the chat. Right now, just based off the glimpse that we have got of it, is this probably going to be the best Maximum today?
Because you can see his beefiness. You can just see pulling those arms out. You can the posing.
Can I just say the pack layout, the accessories included with this Thor, are like, even though those lightning effects are reuse, they're reuse that makes sense. But I like the pack layout here. One of the criticisms of the Maximum so far has been the accessory layout. And I like this. What else could you add? Yes, the spinning effect, but we already have the spinning effect with the Ragnarok Thor. So if you have the Ragnarok Thor, you have the spinning effect in your display. So if you desperately want to use the spinning Mjolnir with this Thor, then borrow it from Ragnarok Thor. That's the magic about being a collector.
It's just in a box somewhere in this house, so it's nothing I do. The only other thing I'd like to have seen was just a tribute to that first figure, because that had the glowing Mjolnir in it. So they could have just done a glowing version as well, just as a tribute to the original figure, because it was a bit more. It does. I'm sure it glowed. It had some blue effects across it.
I like it. I'm not going to lie. I like it. I completely agree with everybody in regards to the classic to modern debate. Like, I understand we do need an updated classic Thor. Again, Thor is one of the trinity of Marvel characters in this day and age, and we need an updated version of the Jack Kirby Thor. So I'm not challenging anybody on that. I agree with that. But for the version of Thor that this Marvel legend represents, it's a solid offering, and it's a nice. I just hope it's a course correction for the Maximum series. Like, I hope Maximum series moving forward is more in line with what collectors want, because he is otherwise completely pinless. Just confirming here, double jointed knees, elbows. Are the knee elbows double jointed? So
they must be. Sure,
gotta be right. I'm trying to.
You would
just want to confirm. I just want to enhance and confirm. Can the chat had a better look at the pictures than me?
Yeah, that one with on the shoulder. Go back to that one.
Hang on, let me enhance.
One before that, I think that looked double jointed to me. The previous image, because he has it bent more.
Maybe, maybe the chainmail is hiding.
Go back
well.
2 images where he's got it on his shoulder, because it looks like it's double jointed in that.
Okay, yeah, yes.
Now you can zoom in on that.
Enhance.
Yeah, because you can see it's got the separate piece in the middle. Yes. Yeah, it's a double.
And it does look like as well at the top of the shoulder, there's a bit that goes into the shoulder as well, if you know what I mean. So it's not quite a full butterfly where it's visible on the front, but it does look like there is that arm is plugged into something that is then into the chest. So I think there will be a bit more flexibility. I think there is a butterfly hidden underneath the pec. Maybe. I don't know. Until we get it in hand, I don't know. But it appears that way. He's got the ball joint at the top of the diaphragm. Probably got a waist swivel. Maybe a double ball joint. Again, I'm not sure. Is that a waist swivel or a double ball joint? I think a double ball joint would be appreciated. Double jointed knees. The boots just cover the knees, but it is double jointed. Toe pivot as well.
Toe articulation.
Hinge, toe hinge.
Some of those toes.
Soft wire cape as well. Honestly, I think they've done a good job. For what Maximum series has been promised it's going to be, I think they've done a good job. So we're waiting for the price to get revealed, and then everyone can start bitching and moaning, and that's okay. Again, that's a conversation we can have. But right now, just focusing on the offering that's been shown to us today as a representation of the Thor it's meant to represent from the source material. I really like it. I'm looking forward to getting it. I want to build like an updated modern Avengers team, and we've got Caps, we've got Iron Mans, we've got other versions. I wanted an updated Thor, and I'm not mad at this. I like this look as well. Like, again, MCU inspired. Well, the MCU took inspiration from this. You know what I mean. So yeah, there you go. Lots of reveals today, and the chat. By the way, the chat were all screaming, "Yes, this is the best offering for Maximum series so far." Now, we do have an after show to go to, people, that has been unlocked. So if you are a channel member at the Who Crew Deluxe tier, then start hitting me up with some fresh DMs, and we're going to jump on, and I'm just going to be the host. I'm just going to be the host, and you guys can tell me what your favourite reveals were from today. So, yeah, if you're a channel member at the Who Crew Deluxe tier, hit me up, but I will leave the show public. So, Jay, while I'm setting that stream up to be public, let us know what your favourite reveals were in general, like, from today. What were your top 3 reveals out of everything?
Everything today, then. So my top 3 reveals, I would say, in third place is a random one. It is the Spider-Man, with the alien symbiote taking over. I think that takes a third place from that wave. If I then take a second, I think it's Magik. She's on the wrong card, completely on the wrong card, but as a figure, and that's a figure we need, and hopefully where we could be going with New Mutants in those 80s costumes. She takes second. And number 1, a clear winner for me is the Muse and Bullseye 2-pack. I did not think we would get Muse in action figure form because of blood painting. And we have a blood painting character soaked in blood in a Hasbro product. So that is clearly going to take number 1 for me. 4 would have been up there if it was a different design. I think the figure's great, but it doesn't make my top 3 because I don't like the design.
Great choices all round. I don't think, apart from the Avengers Crossing reveal, I think that's the only dud, but I think that's being a bit out of order because we're not fans of that particular story or art. But as figures representing the art, they do the job they're meant to do. So I think that's been a bit harsh. But if I had to pick a dud, that's the dud. Everything else I like. Everything else I like. And I'll be getting it all. I'll be getting it all anyway. I look forward to it. The pre-orders information was scattered throughout the stream. But just as a real quick recap before we leave, the Muse and Bullseye 2-pack is a Pulse exclusive, 4th of March. The Avengers Crossing 2-pack is an Amazon and fan channel exclusive, the 18th of March. The Target exclusive Onslaught, no pre-order date yet. The Archangel is the 25th of March. Maximum Thor is the 25th of February. So Maximum Thor is 2 weeks' time. And Secret Wars is
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes, tomorrow. So
6 p.m. UK or 1 p.m. Eastern.
So in my mind, that sees us through until April. So I don't think we're going to get another Marvel live stream until April now, which is fine. That makes sense. Like one every other month, I think is fair game. Like we can't be too mad at that. And we will have more reveals at Toy Fair on Sunday. So if there is a significant on Saturday, so if there is a significant number of reveals. Saturday is Valentine's Day, people, and I love my girlfriend 3000, all right? I love her 3000. I am doing a review of this, and Amanda was a good sport, and she let me film her reaction to being gifted this figure. So Amanda doesn't really make appearances on this channel. She likes to just be in the shadow. She's not a fan of being on camera. But the intro to this review will be Amanda's reaction to this figure, okay? So look out for this review being posted at some point this week. Again, you guys made me do it. This ain't me. This is on you guys. You guys wanted this to happen. You super chatted, so I made it happen. I'm a man of my word. So I'll be reviewing that on the channel. But we're going to go to the bonus show, and if there is some good reveals, I'm going to try and do a sneaky live at the weekend, depending on what Amanda's plans are, all right? It is Valentine's Day. It's also Ted's birthday. Ted's birthday is on Valentine's Day. So we've got to have a party for Ted's 5th birthday. So, yeah, maybe. But fingers crossed for more good reveals at the weekend. Maybe X-Men 97 Beast. I don't think it will be, but I want to see it. I'm ready after Mondo. I wanted to talk about Mondo, but we're going to have to save it. Go and check out Jay's channel. He did a video on Mondo Beast. Jay's Toy Collection UK. Links are in the description. We're going over to the bonus show. I've put the link for that as well in the chat. It's right at the top of the chat. I'm sharing it right now. If you're on the after show, if you're on the replay, if you're a channel member at the Who Crew Deluxe tier, you can still watch the bonus show. It is in the comments of this video. But Rich, Rich.
It's close enough. The bearded version.
It's going to take a few weeks, Jay. You need to give me a few weeks.
He's been in the chat.
Me and Rich did over 100 shows, Jay. You're going to have to forgive me. It's going to give me a few weeks. I'm just getting into the rhythm. Jay, tell the good people where they can find you online.
You can find me at Articulated Heroines. No, that is not me. That was Rich. So you can. Where am I? It's here. It's there. It's pink. It's everywhere. Oh, that's almost a catchphrase I've just cooked up. You can follow me here on YouTube at Jay's Toy Collection UK for my new concept, Today in Toys. So if you want daily toy news of me sat here trying to find a news article to talk about when I have a second, then follow me for Today in Toys. Today we featured a little bit of Hasbro because Harry Potter is coming, and apparently I might have to go into a Turtles video because that seems to be happening all over the place as well. So, Jay's Toy Collection UK on YouTube.
I think Today in Toys is something that works for you. You love talking about toys, and when the news pops up, you can just do a Today in Toys video as well. So, happy days.
That was the concept. This Week in Toys became a live stream that was very sporadic, and now I'm here. So let's do Today in Toys.
That makes sense.
MS Paint has been out. We've got graphics.
That makes sense. I'm ending this poll, by the way. Classic Thor won 61% to 39%. So there you go.
At least you didn't call in Chris, says Rich there. That's cool. Now that is an old reference.
That is an old reference, and Rich is still a good sport for that, except not 1 point did he correct me. That's how nice of a man he is. Right, we're getting out of here. We'll see you on the bonus show. Follow us over. We're going to have lots of guests on, and you can hear their opinions on these Marvel Legend reveals. We've been talking far too long. Let's get out of here. Where's my end stream? There we go. All right, as I said, Love You 3000 review coming on the channel this week. I know you're all excited, all right? Don't pretend that you're not. I Love You 3000 if you click one of these videos onto the side. And again, if you are a channel member of the Who Crew Deluxe tier, you can watch the bonus show at any time you want, okay? You don't have to be here live. That is just a perk. Link will be in the description, and we'll